Welcome to the Apex Legends Global Series Pro League. We are knee-deep in group play and all the drama that comes with it because let's call it what it is. It is palpable here today. And of course, here to help me pilot this North American dropship, we got Stella and we got James. James, let's start with you. What are you looking forward to most today? And primarily, I want to talk key themes that you can expect from today's 6 matches from North America.
I'm looking forward to beef. There's going to be so much beef in this lobby. The FDA have been called. It's going to be there's some serious grudge matches to be had here, especially with the goings on in this last week. And I can't wait to see the carnage.
音でかい？
basically the same.
音でかいか？
I feel like the tensions
あ、
are
今
really
日大
high
会
going
ム
into
ーブ
today.
の
So I'm
練
very
習
excited
し
to
て
see
ない
how
そう
these
いえ
teams
ば。
are going to go
ね、
into
お
these
じいさん、
matches
きなこあさん、
and
め
how
い
they're
さん
gonna face up
お
against
か
each
えり
other
あり
because
が
I
と
mean
う。
this
音
is the
でか
first
い？
time we're
そ
seeing
れ
these
とも
groups
ちっ
play
ちゃ
against
い？
each other and I'm very excited to see how well they do. So I'm just really excited. I love Apex.
Oh, excellent. We're never going to want to not hear that. Well, let's talk about how they're doing,
でかいか？
primarily by talking about how they did. That be a nice North American trip down memory lane here from last week. Take a look.
あ、大丈夫？本当？
Zach Mazer again finding himself in a constant state of being cracked. Meanwhile, on the outside here, 100 Thieves are just dueling it out with excess TSM as well.
人気のチーム
100 Thieves are
と
just lighting them up, fish in a barrel. Left, right, and center, but it's TSM coming in to clean things up. Get those thirsts, get those knocks, and get that
グル
victory.
ープが今日
TSM
は
light
当
it
た
up
り合う
in a
らしい
sweep.
かな。
Boys,
見ど
first
ころ
game.
らしいよ。
Oh, no.
He
He's in the
gets
middle of
absolutely
everything.
deleted. 9 squads left now as this starts to go from bad to worse. And the Caustic's are really going to earn their keep here.
楽しみね。
Gent now the last man standing literally for his team with the Wraith. He has the high ground though and he can just chill for the time being. The shields are coming through now. His team trying to cover him as best he can. Can he clutch with the shield? He's
あ
got
ー、
red
ここ
over
見たね。
again.
ただ
SMP
勝
to
っ
take
たん
it.
だよ。
Let's go, baby!
上で潰し合ったから。PSM が今1位なんか？間違えた。間違えてない。
Gotta be careful with those peaks, and oh my goodness, what a crack! The knock as well, the thermite, the frag grenade, and another body shot right there.
やっぱこう見
Space
る
station
と
is
さ、
still alive.
ハ
On
イ
top of
グ
that
ラ
roof,
ウンド
zone's
が
closing.
強い
I
よ
don't have time
ね
for。this. So now
あ、
he's
こ
gonna
の
take to
バ
the
ルキリーも
sky
強
here
かったよ
and try to live
ね。
as long as possible. He's doing such a
Skyver's
great job. But
Just
the zone's
dropped down.
closing. Let's go!
もう
You are
私は見てる。私は大
Everybody
会
wants a piece of the action here,
向
guys.
きの腕前し
And
てな
there
い
is
か
the
ら
wipe. Out they go, TSM.
見てるわ。
Oh my god, we're
こ
triple
れ
breath on
面白
outside
い
now.
ね。
Nothing but
3
domes, and
つ
this is
も
going to
ド
be
ーム
really
が
hard. We're
並
going
ん
to need
で
some meat shields. What the hell's going on with down the last 3 teams? Fury are getting deleted. Sheesh, can they do this? It might be down to Timmy now, the last man standing. Does he go for a fight? What the hell's going on? They've made it!
あ、ちなみに DSM がいるグループ A はリキッドと C9 っていう競合もいる C のグループだから今日は NA の競合チーム勢ぞろいのスーパー豪華マッチなん
Down
だ
10 squads.
そう
This
な
final
ん
circle
だ
going to be on so much open ground.
DSM
Bubble does come down. Oh, gas traps up to the sky. Goes to the Valkyrie to the end.
C9
Getting the crack.
はい
Getting the
で
drop
リ
design.
キッ
He's
ド
gonna get knocked. All G2.
be G2.
They're gonna drop to Space Station Gaming. Get their players back up. They did it. This is looking like all esports arena.
ねワクワクするねライフライン出るかな
Cleaning up a
出
squad,
ないんじゃない
getting
多
that
分
KP.
ねワクワクだね競合が当たり合うらしいよ
Four squads left going for the race. There'll be a full
人
team
気
soon.
強
C9
強チーム
deleted.
が
Space
集
Station
まっ
now.
てん
They're
だ
going
このグル
nuclear.
ープ
Players
と
calling over. There's mad thirst
そう
going on.
このグル
Players
ー
are
プに
fast. And Space Station will be the only team today to take 2 victories.
Let's
ほら楽しみや
It's too easy.
でんでんでん
And if you're not hyped after seeing that footage, I don't know
Ah,
what is wrong with you.
oh,
But James, let's real quick talk
Yahoo.
about what we saw off the
あ、じゃあ
get-go.
もうグル
TSM
ープ
coming
A が
out
やばいんだ。
swinging
なんかさ、グ
in
ル
a
ー
pretty
プ A っ
good
ても
and
しかし
scary
て
lobby. How are you feeling about their chances coming out swinging during today's A versus B group stage?
CR?
I think in individual situations
See-
that we saw, and I say that because you know not every
CR
result's going to go any team's way, but Like we saw some beautiful plays from TSM. Hal's obviously very capable of just overperforming on his own at any time, but we saw them like take a building from a team like a 3-man SWAT team, getting all the grenades in and just cleaning it out with the Mastiff. And they're always capable of doing that. They've got very heavy output on the team. They can have the intense comms, but they've got the experience and the focus to deliver. So I will always expect TSM to be like top 3 in any lobby.
Yeah, and I think they expect it too, which is interesting. Stella.
Yeah, I was going to say, I feel like TSM performs particularly well under pressure. And last time we saw them play, they were the pressure. So I really enjoyed watching them play last Sunday. And I was just very surprised that they came out with the heat immediately.
Well, here's another surprise for us. Take a look at number 26 there, gang. That is NRG, a team that so many have put so much of their hopes on. And even though we are only in day 3 of group stages, so there's plenty of games to go. There's plenty of tournament gameplay to be had. But Stella, I mean, NRG, you said it best. Ooh, they're over at 26 right now.
Yeah, I mean, NRG is a really strong team too. Like, you can't count them out just because they are a little bit behind on the leaderboard. I do believe that they're a very solid team. I think that Sweet is a really good IGL, so there is time for them to come back. I just think that it's a bit of a weak start, but that's all right because NRG is also a team that performs really well under pressure.
They sure do.
I wouldn't call it a weak start. I'd call it a terrible start, goddammit. 83... Oh, then again, $83,000 they've won this year since this roster came together in January, and they were kind of missing in the previous week. For example, in the 6 games they played, they had 21 kills. 20 of those kills came in 2 games, so they really went missing in too many of those games, and they can't do that this week.
Well, and speaking of this, we're looking at the participating teams. Yeah, Stella, I mean, honestly, we're looking at participating teams right here. We've seen so many teams come up and so many teams pop off, but there's quite a few names that we just saw in those highlights that aren't a part of today's participating teams.
Yeah, so honestly, these teams are very solid. TSM and NRG, of course, which I know that our viewers are going to be very excited to watch. But I'm very curious about Ira. Ira was really strong last weekend, and I was very surprised. So we've got a lot of teams to look at here. I mean, groups A and B here, they are very, very strong. So I don't know. It's up in the air. Who knows? Just watch all of them. There you go.
Pro tip, absolutely. Well, we're talking about strong teams, potential comp changes, and of course the drama and action that unfolds all around them, which means it's time to talk about our Lenovo teams to watch.
ここから11月末まで6週間やって1月とかにプレーオフか。
And I cannot remember which one of you I'm starting with here because there are 3 teams that I know you have in your sights. Is that you, James? I apologize, gang. I was so excited. We've been hyped all morning. So take it away.
Yeah, I'm way too excited, Kate, which is why I'm like cursing at the beginning of the stream. Apologies. But anyway, our first team to talk about here is going to be NRG, as we just alluded to. They kind of went missing in the last week, and we need to see more from these guys. They, again, like, across, let's say, across 4 games, they got 1 kill. Their placements were 10th, 18th, 11th, 16th, 13th. They did terrible. The only reason they've got points is because they had an 11-kill game where they came 11th. And a 9-kill game where they came 16th. I don't know how that even adds up, but for the most part, they just had really, really terrible games. And we want to see way more than that from them this week.
I really hope so, but I mean, they're going up
よければ
against our second team to watch, which is TSM, and I know that everyone's really excited to see that. So TSM had a rough week in scrims, which we can get to, right, James? I'm sure you're frothing at the mouth to talk about that.
Gossip, gossip.
I know, but TSM really has been bringing the heat. I mean, week 1, we just saw them dominate. They came out and they were ready. It's like they got a full night's rest, and they came out and they placed really well. But the thing is, this week has been a little bit different. I know that they've been getting griefed, which I will ask James about in just a minute. So we're wondering, are they okay? Are they going to go into this level-headed? Are they calm enough? Like, are they still going to bring the same energy from last weekend? So James, speaking of drama, How about our next team, C9? That has something to do with the drama, right?
This is the hyena team of this lobby, I would say. These guys have been griefing TSM in scrims all week. They've been going into their streams and looking at a replay of their perspective when Cloud9 came in and wrecked them in multiple games, just aping them early game multiple times in ways which TSM wouldn't necessarily agree made logical sense. So Cloud9 have been in their head. You know, TSM have had some internal blobs as well, and they're not shy to have heated conversations. But they were a little towards nuclear this week. So the question for TSM is, are they fully focused in the game? Question for Cloud9 is, all right, cool, you're giving the Charlie big spuds during the scrims and so on, but can you deliver that level of aggression and results when it counts?
Well,
yeah, don't talk the talk.
Oh, sorry. Yes, Stella. Go for it.
Like just to stir up the heat a little bit more. Don't talk the talk unless you can walk the walk, right? And we're gonna see that with these teams. I mean, today's the day.
Today is the day. Couldn't have said it better myself. Well, those have been our Lenovo teams to watch.
なんだろう。そのコロナのやつで、ね、なんか芸能人の人とかも。ね、YouTube 始めたり、ゲーム始めたりしてるから。
And offline, and we'll see how that ends up in our lobbies here today. But one of those things that we have been bringing the drama and the action has to be our talent predictions. Because I'm personally on the losing side most of the time here. In fact, I think all of my predictions so far, it's fine, I'll deal. But let's take a look at what everyone had to say. And James, I know you're hyped. Let's see. Once we get that graphic up, we'll see what you think of the rest of the field. I know that there are so many, as you just mentioned, teams to watch.
All
right, I went for a spicy pick, which I went for what I would say is a volatile pick. I should pick TSM in this group. I should pick TSM. It makes sense to pick TSM. But purely for the level of briefing and the level of no care from Cloud9, you know, again, it's a question mark for me if they can actually deliver on the server. But in the off chance they can, I'm taking that spicy pick this week.
Okay, that's really funny because last week I picked Cloud9, so I think we flipped here. And Kate, Noble, do you want to explain your pick behind that?
I am more than happy to explain my pick here. Here's my deal. Last week, Noble went up against Sentinels. And just pop-up doesn't even do it justice. I believe they ended the day with 92 points. They are lethal. They were unstoppable, and Noble won a game under those conditions. Now, other teams did as well, but Noble has been remarkably consistent and almost pulled out the W on game number 1 against Sentinels last week. So I'm just saying, Noble, I mean, the reality is, if we're talking about teams like TSM and CLG, Cloud9, TSM versus Cloud9, if you're looking at those teams that have each other in their sights, I'm looking at who can third party that party. Because things could get interesting, which is why I chose Noble. We'll see what happens. So far, I've been wrong, but you know what? Today's the day, gang. Today is the day. Speaking of today, guess what? It's about time for me to head out so that you both can head in to game number 1. The dropship leaves. I'm gonna head back and I'll see you guys in a few.
APEX ならありえるかもしれないよね。そうやってね、
Thank you, Kate. Always appreciate it. And honestly, Noble has been placing really well. I mean, James, they've been placing about second in pre-qualifiers and stuff. So I fully expect them to bring their A game today too. I'm really excited for these two groups.
Yeah, me too. I'm definitely gonna look out for that Noble pick. They're not a team I've focused on as much as a lot of the other teams. So I like that it's been highlighted. You know, I tried to look at the other dogs and so on, but Noble maybe slipped past me a little, so I'm looking forward to seeing if they can deliver. But we'll see where everyone is going to be dropping with these two groups. We're going with Lazarus now. Very common setup that we're seeing. Valk, Jibby, and Caustic has become very popular in this current meta, and they are one of the teams who'll be rocking that here as well.
Yeah, honestly, I'm really excited to see Valk utilized more because I think she's kind of slept on. I really love Valk for her ability to rotate really quickly. I think a lot of people have been picking Octane because you know he's fast. You can cover a lot of ground immediately with him. But with Valk, there's a little bit more payoff because you can actually rotate into entire POIs. So I'm very glad to see her coming back into play, especially since we saw Emil obviously use Valk a lot more.
Okay, so we can see the spread now. No one is anywhere close to Cloud9 at the moment. You can see them in the top right of the map, but they're going to have a long way to go because we can see the zone is headed deep towards the dome.
Yeah, they're gonna have a lot of loot. I don't know about you, but Climatizer has a lot of good loot every time I've landed there, so they've picked a prime spot.
Yeah, there's a boatload of loot, and at least Xset seem to be between TSM and Cloud9. So maybe there's a bit of relief for TSM at the beginning based on how this week has gone. But indeed, it's going to be a very interesting first game here in North America. We've had 1 week of play so far for all the groups, and they're able to take away what they've learned from that and the scrims as well. But I do want to see if the likes of Cloud9 can deliver that cheekiness in the official matches as well.
Yes, I agree. I don't expect a lot of early game fights, unfortunately, but I'm still curious to see how things will go mid-game and late game. And Liquid already in trials, trying to complete it to get some extra shields. Looks like they have 2 blue shields, so they're doing all right.
Yeah, so far so good. I'm waiting for the day we see someone die to a Prowler. or get knocked at least. I think it will happen eventually.
Caster's curse. Don't say anything you don't mean, okay? I don't know. Every time I go to trials, I always feel like it's a little bit too risky. But I mean, listen, you leave these plays for the pros, right?
Yeah, and Tunnel certainly knows what he's doing. Just dealing with it solo with the Eva rates, not the right tool for the job.
Yeah, so James, let's talk about this lobby. It is a pretty stacked lobby. I mean, both groups A and B are terrifying to go up against. And I know we talked about our teams to watch, but who do you think might be kind of the underdogs that we might be seeing on? Would that be Noble, do you think, since, you know, Kate kind
Just before I answer your question, we're going to have a look at a quick clip with Nocturnal, and then I'll get back to that.
Okay, cool.
And Flanker. Flanker I've been teaming with for almost 2 years now. He is just the ultimate support player. Fills in any shoes that you need him to. He is one of the best dudes I've ever played with. And Fun is our new third. Anyone you talk to, he is a freak of nature. They are scared of him. He is a Slayer on a characters that shouldn't be Slayers, and he plays every single character. He is just the Swiss Army knife, but the Swiss Army knife is really damn big.
So for an underdog or like an under the radar, if that is any different, maybe it's not, team, I think that Ghost Gaming are going to be one for us to have a look at. They had some good results earlier this week. I watched so much of the NA Apex, so I'm not sure if it was a tournament or scrims, but they've got some, either way, they've got some nice results under their belt from this week, and that's something that they can maybe translate into the server. But again, like these NA lobbies are so tough. There isn't really much space that's given to you for free. So if Ghost start to do something, it's not going to be the easy way for sure.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, these lobbies are stacked. Not just even groups A and B, just all of them in general. I mean, all of these players have earned their spot here, so it's really interesting to see all of them go up against each other.
Yeah, I think last week A versus D was like just a fantastic way to start off the proceedings with the mix of big streamer personalities, top tier teams and so on, and everyone got a little piece of the pie there, so I think that was absolutely fantastic entertainment, but I'm looking forward to seeing this mix as well. We can see that for the time being, Era Eternity are in a pretty good spot as far as where the tone is concerned, so they're just going to chill in a truck, but they may be missing a door or two as they are poked by a Valkyrie.
Yeah, and it looks like a member of Benchwarmers, Madness, just took down a member of Lazarus, and there's 2 knocks right there. Sweet. NRG stealing a kill on Lazarus from Benchwarmers there.
Yeah, and it seems somebody got killed by the missile. So definitely seeing shields getting peppered somewhere around the map. Era still chilling for now, maybe looking for a more suitable position. As they've got a lot of waiting to do. And Lazarus have been eliminated now, so we were looking for some delivery from NRG, and they take out the first team in this first game.
Yeah, you know, I said you probably weren't going to see early game fights, and you know what? I'm biting my tongue now, because apparently we are going to see them. Oh my goodness, look at that absolute beam from Bowser. Oh, Bowser. That was amazing. I think they're going to try and push this. They look pretty confident. They have good shields. I mean, Sunny just has to play behind his shield there as Gibraltar.
ゴリゴリの男らしいけど
Yeah, it's an interesting decision they've
EXILE の
got, because if you
方
look
に
at the
流れる
bullets
の
that
か
Bowser has, he doesn't have a
なるほ
lot
ど
in the
ね
hole here, so on either weapon actually, so I don't know what the situation is for the other teammates, but if they may poke themselves to death if they just if they don't manage to find some more loot somewhere, so we'll see if that situation improves a bit later on.
Yeah,
Now we got NRG who again they've got some KP on deck and they are going to be in that eggshell.
え、わか
Just
ん
looking
ない
at the
どう
lay
な
of
ん
the
だ
land
ろう
here, not the
そうなん
best position behind the supply bin, but we'll see
ジャ
what
ニ
he chooses to
ー
do
ズ
next.
とEXILE どっち選びますかって言われてさ、アンケート取ったらどっちの
Is
方が票集ま
did
ると
steal
思
a
う
kill from benchwarmers, so maybe they'll be facing off against each other. And look at this lineup here. Look at how many teams are in this one area inside the dome.
Yeah, there's a lot of space for a number of teams to play, and you know everybody loves a good beacon, right? So that dome area is only going to get busier because you don't want to be the last out team who's flying in. That's for sure. We've seen that with the European teams earlier on today,
G7 マス
where people are getting downed before they've
俺
even
のが
landed.
切
They're
断
getting
マーク
knocked
つい
in
ちゃっ
the
てるけ
air.
ど大丈夫
So you definitely want to
TSM
find
の
yourself a
方
good position. Now,
か
how
わいいわ正義って言うしって言ってる
It
どうな
looks
んだ
like
ろう
he's been
ね
disconnected. They might be able to get him back,
Sunny's
but
in the
yeah, they
Um,
probably
no.
punched him into a corner. But can we
俺
note
はね
that
なんで
Hal
そ
is
こに
playing
並べた
crypto?
んね
oh,
なんでそのラインナッ
In
プ
the
に
scrims,
私
I
並
want
べ
to
ちゃっ
say
た
that
ん
I
それ
saw
さ
him playing Jibby at some point when they were getting griefed by Cloud9 and so on. So we have a different approach here. With last week's configuration, I did wonder if it would stay the course for that day, but I haven't seen too many changes within a day really, apart from a few in Europe from last week. So it's interesting to see that he's on the
あねや
crypto.
っぱり
Hopefully
落
he'll
ち
be
ちゃっ
back
て
on
ん
the
じ
server
ゃ
soon.
ん
oh, looks like he just connected. Look at that.
うわ大会で落ちちゃうの
brought
厳
it
しい
into
ね
existence.
本
But
当
yeah,
だ
honestly, I think that crypto wouldn't be a bad play here, even in NA lobbies where he's not used as much. I mean, he just provides so much information.
Yeah, we can see Snipe down on the caustic there as well. So I'm very interested to see how that one will play out
ここはバルキリー
later
な
on.
んか
See
ガス
Team
ア
Liquid
ウト
still
ク
moving
リ
through
プト
now.
いい
Double
ね
purple and
なんでだ
gold.
ろう
That's pretty
ね
good.
Yeah, they're ready for a fight, and they have 250 rounds for their All-Star. Nocturnal is
本当
set.
だね
Yeah, and,
But
there's, and
Jibu
again, a lot of these
Chan
teams have got some
Jibu Chan
rotations to
Jibu
do, and there's lots to
Chan
discuss in this
Jibu
situation. So we're going to have a
Chan
listen in
Jibu
with Team Liquid.
でゲランカンさん重量オーバーバルキリーにくっつかないかもしれ
You
な
want
い
me to hold scan?
ちょっとガスおじさんとジブちゃんは
I'm gonna try and go to the right side.
No one on the right side, at least on this railing.
Walk up with me. We're just gonna throw our hard commit bodies here. Get ready to fight.
They went this
い
way.
ますね
Scan ahead.
ねえねえねえでもそうやって
Ooh,
ちょっと使え
hello.
て
Go
くる
north,
も
go
ん
north, go north, go north.
あるよね
Watching door. Go, 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 go. Brandon, come.
I'm just gonna
Okay.
slide low ground.
Heard.
No scan for 10. Are we just face checking this?
Yeah.
Clear.
That was a Sentinels play if I've ever seen one.
The hard rat, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
ねこれさ
Alright,
私
watch
本
us
当
and see
に
if anyone
さ
comes in. We kill them.
あのさ
There's a team command center.
お
Gibby's
願
already
い
looking with
があ
arm
るんだ
shield.
けどさハッピーちゃんのジャニーズのこ
I
と
think
じゃな
most
く
likely we
て
force south out and we just go
これさ
here.
あのさチームリキ
See where zone
ッ
goes
ドはさ TL って揃えてくれてるやんでもさたまにさチーム名とさ名前の前がさ違うチームいてさまたチーム名とさこの四角っちょの中のクラン名も違うチームいるやんすっごい分かりづらい揃えてくれたら見やすいむしろ四角いらないかもしんないなんなら
Take a sip of water.
わかるすごい難しい
I think it's pretty interesting to see a team's comms and spatial awareness when they're rotating to a new position.
あー
As you can
一
see,
部
they
レン
managed
タ
to
ル
use
移
the bloodhound
籍
to
してる
detect
人
a
がいるん
potential
か
ambush situation.
そう
But
クラン
generally,
名
like if
表
you're
示
in a
さ
building,
されると
then you're gonna
わ
have
け
the
わ
doors
かんなくなっちゃうんだよ
closed. So
ね
if you can see the doors open and that
ほらこの
team was trying to like insta-X somebody who thought that that place had been looted and abandoned. So The awareness from Team Liquid there is pretty cool, but also you saw a reference to face checking where they basically have to go in or have a look at something to see if there's somebody in there or not. And if there is, maybe they get shot in the face. So perhaps that's where the name comes from. But that little rotation there from Team Liquid was pretty cool in terms of, again, spatial awareness and threat detection.
Yeah, I also love that they called out the enemy team and they're just like, oh yeah, that's absolutely this team. I know their movements. I absolutely love that amongst pros, how they can instantly pinpoint who it is just from their movement. I absolutely love that.
ほら EXE とFA 10がついてくると
That's the kind of BM that I want to see. Oh dear. Well, we just got another team wipe and we are left with 18 squads. TSM getting some, sorry, Cloud9, excuse me, getting some early action. And again, they've got a long rotation.
You're just pulling up that rivalry even more, aren't you, James?
It's because that Abralele is Nick, that's why.
Oh, okay,
Yeah. It was innocent. Normally I'm not, but this time I am.
Okay.
Renegades have got great opportunities. Surely they've got a full commit to this one. The Mastiff, they're running out of bullets and got to ignore those shields and focus on the Wraith, who's trying to just ninja past everybody.
Oh, and
trying to escape as best they can, yeah, but that was a really juicy situation for the Renegades. It's a nice early KP for them.
Looks like they did secure that kill there, so was that a team wipe on them?
17 squads left, so it's a fair chance. I'm not 100% sure if that Wraith escapes, but I would be surprised if she did.
Yeah. I do see that Pow Pow, I think, was bringing out the Hemlock. Such a strong gun, but I just cannot get burst rifles down.
I do like the Hemlock, but I feel like it gets me into trouble, the burst fire. But I like the hip fire on it. You can shred with it, so I think it's reasonably reliable. Well, Team Liquid, as we can see, they'll have some more rotating to do to get into the next zone. See Nocturnal just looking at the climate around him, and man, when they try and get towards that dome area, they're going to be in a lot of trouble. I feel like if you're not there by this point, you're going to be hard pressed to find any shelter.
Yeah, dome is a particularly hard zone to try and guard. Since there's really not a lot of cover there, like you said. So either you get there early or you end up kind of using up all your resources just trying to get there and find a spot. Especially since everyone likes to rotate early because circle guarding is huge in North American lobbies.
And this is Ghost we mentioned earlier. And I think Team Liquid are in a pretty interesting position in terms of how they rotate beyond this position at the moment. It's quite interesting. He can't full commit to that. His teammates are too far behind him. We've got some area control now with the bombardment, which is again, sometimes it is called defensive bombardment actually. Sometimes it's used aggressively, but sometimes it's just area control to give your own team some space to heal up, consider your options, etc. But yeah, this is a pretty spicy situation for Team Liquid.
Ooh, and Flanker gets that damage on the enemy team and knows that one of the Ghost members has white armor. So they could go into this fight feeling pretty confident knowing that at least one member only has white armor.
Yeah, I can imagine that Team Liquid are discussing where all the teams are. Like, honestly, it is a big question as to where they will move later on. And time is starting to run down. NRG, at the moment, trying to crack some more eggs in the eggshell. Got players just on the other side of that wall who have had to use their dome in a very open position. So, speaking of open, NRG are open as well. And again, there will be more teams rotating soon. So, I do start to wonder how tenable this position is.
Yeah, even though they are encircled, they're still getting held out from getting a better position. Oh, and Rocker, on the 30-30, I remember you were saying in the EMEA games that you really like the 30-30 and that you think that it's kind of slept on. And they're doing massive damage.
I can't use it, but it is such a brutal damage machine. Just depending on the situation, if you get a bit too close and the fire rate can cause you some problems. But, you know, if you find someone who doesn't have much cover, you can really mess them up with that.
It looks like C9 is looking to try and guard other teams that are on the outside of the circle. I mean, they're barely in themselves, and it looks like they are kind of surrounded, so they gotta pick a fight here.
Yeah, we're gonna tune into the hyenas and see what their comms are like right now.
They baffled in.
Popping cells.
Free KP everywhere.
Just focus on up.
Bolting us
in now. Start walking up, walk up, Alba.
NA で一番ね。
I'm walking up. Scanning for Mac.
I'm nading them.
Yes, these are our
熱
kills,
い
guys.
チ
These
ー
are
ム
our
同士の
kills.
戦いなんだって
Make
APEX
sure we
OW
get
Take
these
it.
kills. One dead, one dead. One dead. Two
Crypto
dead.
dead.
Fuck, get the last.
Bunch of flash, bunch of flash.
He fell. He's on the floor.
クラウド
Fuck,
9
you
だ
missed all
ね
that? Fuck, man.
Zach can get the
Where's
one on
my
low.
nades?
I'm making sure we don't get married.
Okay, I'm going to Mac. I'm going to Mac. Scan behind Mac. I'm gonna scan the solo, Zach. Nice,
He's
baby.
dead, he's dead.
You got
We
solo
need
or
to
the
look the
duo?
third high launch. We need to look the third high launch.
動画で聞いたことのある声がさ
I'm
本
walking
当
that way. Just let
私
me.
全
Yep,
然
yep,
見たことないんだ
There's a team right here. That's what Zach. I think
Oh, that
we need
guy's
to
running
finish
there.
my red
APEX もオーバーウォッチのプロになっ
Zach,
て
I
る
think
配
we're
信
pushing
で
the wrong thing. If we can finish that knock, it's really good.
No, I burned their dome, but that's
Well, they're stuck. They're gonna have to climb up, bro. We can
Okay.
fry them on the climb.
Look at I climb, look at I climb.
I got
The
farmed. I
buzz
got farmed.
Bud is 1 HP, guys. We want to focus on rotate?
Zach,
Okay, I'm
I
coming
think we need
back.
to focus my red ping.
Okay, I'm
Go to
going that
Mac,
way
go to
now.
Mac. I
Right
think
here.
we're
Red ping, bro. You
Right
need to
there,
redo
right
your
there,
red
right
ping.
there, right there. I think that's best play, no?
It is.
They're fighting hard on the left right now, too.
I mean, we should. Do we fight backward or do we go third that?
They have a white armor on the floor. We need to start swinging left on these guys, bro.
I'm padding.
gold on that guy, gold on that
Look
red.
right here, look right here. So free, I'm red, so free, I'm red. So
Oh,
free.
I didn't see that pad.
I cracked one.
I'm popping a bat. I'm
こ
getting
んな
farmed.
一倍のウィングマンが当たるん
Are you
ね
dead? Dead?
エイジいるか
Oh,
ボック
Just
ス
come to
の
me,
お
just
す
come
す
to
め
me.
の
Trust me,
色
look right here,
エ
guys.
イ
Three
ジ
teams.
自分の好きな色が一番だと思うけど私
We're fine.
は
I have a
自
play.
分
We're
の
gonna
好
third
きな
that. We're
色
gonna
にし
third red.
た
Are you guys ready?
Okay, yeah.
Yes.
I'm not full, but yeah.
ピンクと
Get full, bro.
I,
No, you can't.
ピン
You
ク
can't.
と
I can't.
水色だけど水ちょっと普通の
Look
水
at me,
色じゃない
show me,
水
show
色
me, show me!
Guy can be, I'm on Mac, 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 let's go to Mac.
I don't know above, I
あ
don't
そ
know
う
above.
なんだ
Mac is fine.
Walk in. I'm down to zone. Play my knock.
No, 1 HP on 2, Naughty.
Naughty,
Shoot,
use me.
shoot, shoot, Naughty, shoot.
I'm crawling forward.
Keep shooting, Naughty.
Excited.
Don't stop. No matter what, bro. Play the knocks. Bat.
Shield drop. I'm out of
Play
shield.
behind mine.
I'm body blocking for you, Naughty.
Oh, bind. Wait, he pushed me behind?
Yeah, there's a rat behind you.
あー
Yeah,
捕
I
まえ
can't.
ちゃった
No, man. I knew we should have.
Utter chaos around the dome. What on earth? Everyone's going crazy. Free KP everywhere. I think Renegades may have stolen a lot of them. They are absolutely railing on this lobby at the moment, and the carnage on the outside just does not stop.
Goodness.
Everyone's falling. You've gone from 10 squads to 8 in seconds.
負けちゃってさボリュームをちょっとずつ絞って
Partying right there, at least fourth party,
But
just
the
right
hotel
outside of
did that,
Dome.
eh?
You said that Dome is such a hard POI to defend, and
Oh,
if you're not
volume
in it, then you're not
is-
going to find a spot. TSM struggling on the inside
Sure,
of
that's
Dome.
an-
They made it in, but they're still struggling here too. I mean,
I see
geez,
it
this
there,
lobby, there
yeah.
are only 8
So
slots
league
left in
comes
Circle
in
5.
there.
This is wild for North
C9
America.
やられちゃったね
Yeah, this is a very fast-moving situation, and
私もこの
TSM may be
間初
struggling
め
at
て
the
見
moment,
た
but they're
の面
alive,
白い
and I
よ
think that is half the
ね
battle at
え
this
家だら
point.
けね
Just managing to hold on,
え
just
っていう
getting
か
all
さ
your
チームの
syringes
ボイ
up
スを
and
いっ
so
ぱい
on.
流すようにしたんだ
See
ね
all their players
なんとさ
now.
カメラワークの改善が見ら
I
れ
do
な
wonder
い
if they're going to consider like
結構
trying
ちゃ
to
んと
force
さ
their way in,
戦ってる
or
時
if
しっ
they're
かり一つ
content
の
with
チ
the
ームを
cover
映
they
して
have.
くれ
Bear
る
in
ように
mind, the
さ
ring has closed
め
quite
ち
a
ゃ
lot
め
as
ちゃ頑
well,
張
so
ったんだろうね
maybe
運
they've
営
got
の
some
人
space in one
う
direction,
ん
but
見
I
や
would
すくな
imagine
った
they're
よ
discussing
ね
where
この
their
間は
most
ちょっとど
immediate
こが
threats are.
何やってんだか全
We've
然
got
わ
Hal
かんな
going
か
to
った
have
け
a
ど
look see now.
Yeah, we did see them flying in on,
Nee,
I
nee, nee,
believe,
dit is dat.
Snipedown's Valkyrie ult. So that's probably where they got most of their damage from. And look at this cluster of teams inside. There aren't enough buildings to hold all these teams. And it looks like TSM is struggling to find cover. They are
Oh,
looking
that's a
from point
big
to point.
grenade! He just ran straight onto it!
And Hal just constantly having to heal, just no time to recover at all.
こんな家の下で
They must have considered pushing one of those houses, but the ring's continuing to close and people are falling all over the place. NRG having some issues now, but they're still getting some KP as well. And barely time to take a breath for TSM, but you can see NRG, they've been like behind one of these walls of the
ここが
eggshells
NRG
for
か
quite a while now. One of them was cracked, but they're back up and ready to go. You
ねえ
can see 3
いいよ
kills on
ね
Nathan at the moment. And now we're down to 7 squads.
天童
I mean,
さんいいよ
the outside
ね
might be the safest place right now because everyone is inside. Look at this, TSM fighting for their lives
チ
right
ームの
here,
人たち
getting
の声
2
が聞こえる
knocks.
のいいよね
And I don't know if they can secure the third, but they are trying to get inside this building. That there are several teams in this POI as well. So I don't know. The outside of the dome might be the safest place right now.
I feel like one team could survive on top of this building, but I feel like every team is going to try and push inside. Have a look at that ring. It covers the complete middle of this. We're going to have an orchestra of chaos inside this building in about 2.5 seconds.
Do we have any Caustic players left in this lobby? Because this is where he's going to shine, and it looks like I do see some Caustic gas. So we might see some Caustic plays here, James.
Whoa, we have some serious elevation on the right side of our screens now. Reps getting a kill on Sleepy Panda. And again, that ring is starting to close. NRG picking the right time to try and get close to this building. But again, there's no... I don't think you can even try and get on the roof at this point. Everybody has the same idea in that respect. And someone's going to have to drop. Desperately trying to get the shields up once again, just allowing everybody to focus on each other. Surely they get some instant free KP from this. Sinapin with 3 kills already, looking for a 4th very soon as that ring continues to close.
Oh my goodness, this is going to be a hectic last fight. 4 squads left and final round closing. Now, NRG might actually be in the best position again. They are hidden away from sight. People don't know where they are, but TSM does have height, so they might be able to see them sneaking in, and they do have the crypto drone scan it potentially if Hal is able to pull that out. If he got that out and he was able to EMP, that would be huge, slowing NRG here and the rest of the teams in that area.
Yeah, I don't think he's got any cover though to possibly press the Q button, but I'm interested to see if he'll try because NRG again, they are still creeping at the moment.
Look at them sitting there.
Right, they're just like, don't mind us, but quite soon it's going to be knock, who's there, and it's going to be everybody.
Yeah, they need that knowledge. Oh, the dome doesn't quite connect there. There's a little bit of space at the bottom.
I think I saw an attempt in Valcult there, which lasted about 0.0001 seconds, and Reps has gone down to a peacekeeper shot, and now it's NRG's time to shine, but it's time to heal again as well. Only Rocket's got any armor, and they're so close to that lava, it's got to hop up, or otherwise they're going to die to the ring. TSM, I think, just got deleted, but who's going to take the last one? Who's going to take first place here? It's going to be Charlotte Phoenix from out of nowhere.
What? I don't think I could have called that from anywhere. I legitimately thought NRG was going to take that. Charlotte Phoenix taking the win, just surviving.
The only time I saw them in that game is when the name came up at the end. So I'm guessing maybe they were already inside because you had TSM up top, you had NRG just creeping, just minding their own business. Don't mind me here with my shield cells. And then boom, Charlotte Phoenix from out of nowhere just get a huge W.
Yeah, I think they were literally inside the building. So not only did they get into that rotation faster and secure that point the entire time, they waited. They were so patient, and they finally came out and destroyed NRG at the very end, just barely enough to take first place. And it looks like they did have 5 kills totaling in 17 points overall. But NRG, 11 kills in second place, so they secured 20 points.
Yeah, NRG puts in work, and I saw a lot of Renegades. I guess they were knocking people but not killing them because they didn't even finish in the top half here. But Charlotte Phoenix, again, we said at the beginning of that, it's going to be so important to take those buildings, and Charlotte Phoenix must have been chilling in there for a while. Because that is a huge W from there, and again, those were the most important doors in the game.
Oh my god, yeah, you're telling me. I mean, we didn't even notice what team that was until they finally came out. And TSM is in 3rd and Renegades in 4th. Now, I want to point out, we did see Renegades become team leader about halfway into the match. So they're also becoming a force to reckon with. I mean, if you want to speak about teams that might be the underdogs, I definitely want to talk about the Renegades because they have been pretty consistent. And Pow and Vaxlon are pretty heavy hitters.
Yeah. Renegades got a fair amount of points out of that game, considering we didn't even see them in the top half of the leaderboard there. So that is pretty interesting. We saw plenty of them in the kill feed, but for the champions, just waited until the right time. 5 kills. I mean, look at the damage that these guys did. They had position, and this shows you the power of position. They were just chilling there behind the doors. They had security guards, you're not allowed in. They chose to come out, and then no one over 1,000 damage, but they have those 12 points. Thank you and good night.
Yeah, they had a Gibraltar, Bloodhound, and Octane. So not only could they reposition very quickly, they also had knowledge of where teams were, and they had cover from Gibraltar. So honestly, best team makeup, best positioning. They just had everything right there in their cup. So, I mean, congratulations to them.
There was free KP everywhere. That was certainly true if you looked at this for any amount of seconds, and there'll be more free KP after this break.
やっぱ中いるからさ、空爆も食らわないしね。で、一方的にあそこの下で潰し合ってんのを一方にして結構余裕であれだね。
Monster Energy, the official energy drink of the Apex Legends Global Series.
やっぱハイグラウンドっていうかガスおじさんいなかった最後もしかしてどこのチームもなんかガスがモクモクしてなかったね。右の方に有名なってリリマル出てるね。いなかったよね今最後。バイトから帰ってきてめっちゃ寝てた。徳也さん今1試合終わったとこあと5試合あるよ。徳也さんあと5試合あるねえ。なんか NA ヨーロッパアジアがなんか2個くらいに分かれてて NA は上位10チームいけんか40チームのうち10チームいけると思う多分 NA は。ヨーロッパもかな多分40チームのうち10チーム。アジアも多分10チームプラスあるかちょっとわかんないけどアジアのことわかんないけどそうめっちゃいける。でも40チームだからね。あ NA ヨーロッパ日韓で10チームずつか。ワイルドカードで TPA から1チームでん784あでーん削ってあげようか。でーんあこの方がスウィートさん。ほんとだ。平均ダメージ784キルレーティング 0.8 この大会でってことか。あこの人が NRG 仕切ってる人か。あそうだ言ってたレイちゃんさんが NRG 仕切ってる最強のスウィートさんと TSM 仕切ってるインペリアルさんこの2人が最強の司令塔なんだっけ。新潟のってあコールが落ち着いていて分かりやすさに定評のあるスウィートさんなんだ。そうなんだ。日本の16歳にベタバイチ日本好きなんだ。デデデデンデデデデン
NA is just getting started. Game 1 is in the books, and even though Charlotte Phoenix they take game number 1, securing themselves 17 points, it's Energy who are having a completely different week on their hands in this second week, Tom, after looking at their performance just last weekend.
Hey, we're back and we're on the rise, just like a Phoenix is, and what an impressive performance. You don't get a chance to see a lot of dome zones anymore. The fact that they held that building for quite some time, locked it down, fended off two of our strongest teams, NRG and TSM. Great start for Charlotte Phoenix.
I'm excited here, guys. It's going to be kicking off the action because I'm looking at Team Energy and the way that they just performed, 11 kills, Tom? That's absolutely insane, and that is definitely one way to start off the momentum for your day.
Just imagine if they actually win that last fight, how much points they would actually put on the board. They would stop a lot of those kill points coming on the board from Charlotte Phoenix, also picking up those extra 3 placement points. But they are in first place overall with 20. And also TSM, fought so hard to get to that point. Great maneuvering throughout all that. We thought Hal was going to go down numerous times. There were so many times that had slivers of HP. What an exciting game number one.
Yeah, just looking at the way that things played out here and look at the chaos that went down. Look at this. Unlucky just stuck against the wall here in Human, just trying to do something absolutely inhuman by trying to clutch out the 1v2. But how are you going to do that in that situation? Renegades honestly had a pop-off game themselves, but the amount of chaos happening on that side of the map when you take a look at where the circle was pulling, specifically the dome area where you have a lot of those squads moving away from launch site, was just whittled everything down from quite literally like 17 squads to like 8 squads quickly.
It's interesting seeing the difference from EMEA to NA in terms of compositions. No Bloodhounds earlier in EMEA. We have 2 Bloodhounds, I believe, in the lobby right now. Take a look at the fighting that TSM was doing. But you have Liquid, who's running Wraith instead, and then Renegades, who has Saucer playing on Octane. So it's fun to see how they're going to be able to utilize being the only Bloodhounds in the map.
And you know what I also love, Tom? Composition changes and why we're seeing these changes. Talk about the EMEA region, and well, I'm seeing lots of cryptos, and we wonder, you know, why are we seeing way more cryptos than Bloodhounds? We see the Valkyrie, of course, coming into a lot of these compositions. Well, being able to get the beacon without having to put yourself at risk is such a big deal here. And it's nice to see how TSM is playing into those composition changes.
It really is, and Hal's one of the smartest players that we have. So in terms of being able to utilize that and then give that information to the team as the IGL, it really makes sense for him. But he's also really good at playing aggressive and getting in your face. And Snipedown's going to have to be that player that really opens things up right now. Maybe it's going to be reps coming through on Gibraltar, but Snipedown is a slayer. He's always been a slayer since the Halo days. He's coming through, and I'm excited to see what TSM's going to be able to do. It was my pick today, but Energy, you cannot just forget about how they played so well in the previous game, picking up all those kills. I'm also looking forward to how C9 is going to be able to do. We had such a great listen with them. Communication's a little bit hectic, but I love the passion.
And that really shows you how a lot of these players have to play under that pressure, just trying to keep their cool, but then trying to utilize the knockdown shields is to your best degree when you're stuck in a 1v2 situation, 1v1 almost, but your backs are against the wall. When it's open and you have an entirely other team scoop up the kills that they see are free in front of them.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just unfortunate because you know that that's your opportunity to go and pick up a lot of kill points and then get in over towards the zone. The problem is the zone was really, really chunking. really ends up dying to the zone because he couldn't hit the med kit. And then all of a sudden, Zach's eating a ton of damage as well. Besides that, he wasn't going to stem to try to get past the zone and eats a lot of damage because of that. I really feel like if they had all 3 players there, that would have really been a huge moment for C9. But we go again, game number 2.
Yep, just like we were saying earlier, I want to see what Renegades has up their sleeve too, because I had my eyes on that team going, looking at their performance, getting 9 kills. We heard it from Stella too. The kill leader was on the team of Renegades, but it's a matter of that consistency and making sure that you prioritize that positioning, such as what we had seen from Energy when they were stuck on the low ground, when they were forced to kind of hug a corner because they knew the rotations were not on their side, with TSM holding the roof the way that they did.
And getting that scan immediately is going to give us that zone information. We'll see where that's going to go and what they elect to do. How fast will they loot? Well, guess what? They are in the next zone too. So this is a great start for Energy in game number 2.
Just wasting no time, being able to make sure that you have your plans for your rotations. As Energy, they are going to get some loot, but Energy, they may need to start rotating and loot on the way, because these lots don't really have the best amount of loot that you would like to feel comfortable with when you want to make sure that you rotate towards that last circle. And look at where it's going to be pulling towards, Tom. It's going to be up on that top left corner, and you already know the chaos that is going to go down between Landslide, with a lot of squads rotating away from Fragment.
10 out of 10. It's definitely a Lava Fisher zone here. So many different opportunities to go and play, but look at that beacon that's over towards Lava Fisher too. If you're rocking crypto, you're gonna be feeling good about that. I'm excited to see what buildings everybody sets up over towards. Typically the one on that west side that's right over the ledge and overlooking everything is gonna be a priority building as well. You can see the building right there on the west coast of your screen on that left-hand side. Another great building for some extra kill points too.
That's chaotic too. You have to imagine with the amount of caustics that are getting put into these compositions with the Valkyrie, Gibby too. We've been seeing a different plethora of legends being utilized. But then you have to note, with that caustic holding on to those final positions, it's going to be difficult to move into those type of buildings.
CLX is that team that you saw rotating. That's Serial, Luxford, and Crew. Loving the situation that they're in, as they are a team that drops over towards Lava Fisher. Back on board with C9. They have a long trek in front of them.
You can see as they are going in, going to be able to pick up these triple blue Evos, and they're also going to be crafting too. We noted earlier, it looks like they have some shotguns, and they want that purple shotgun bolt, so that way they can take full utilization over the shotguns that they are running here. I also saw that there was the gold thermal sight too, and they are going to be swapping for their preferred shotguns.
I really feel like if you are rocking Gibraltar, Mastiff makes a little bit more sense, and Peacekeeper makes a little bit more sense because you are going for that ADS, that little quick scope. As you may, the EVA 8, you kind of don't want to do that. You want to strafe back and forth. You want to get in your face. That's why I like that little switch right there. NRG, they are playing underneath the low ground, underneath the bridge. Still plenty of opportunity to get inside Lava Fissure, but the team starts to rotate now. Right at that 130-second mark, and that top left of your screen is when you're going to see all these pro teams making their moves. Back on board with CLX, they're elected to go for that building like we talked about. Unfortunately for them, no Caustic on this squad.
Yeah, no Caustic, and it doesn't look like they have the best loot in general. I actually see that they are making some swaps over to some guns, and I'm worried about the ammunition that CLX are going to have if they do decide to stay in this building throughout the entire time.
Yeah, no doubt about it. It's interesting to me that this is the building that they decided to go with. Yes, they are going to understand Lava Fissure zones extremely well when they do land over there. But you have to deal with energy over here, and then all of these teams are starting to filter in. You can see the bench warmers, Madness, Knock, and Rambo. They're there. Team Liquid is out of trials and inside Lava Fissure. They understand they don't have time to loot. They need to go and make their plays.
And I like this positioning from Energy too, because they're not trying to fully extend on top of these train tracks. Instead, they're just looking at the action, and it's chaos because there's like 3 Valkyrie ults right on top of them. They're hearing it just land right in front of them, and they're still going to put in some pressure, noting that there is a Caustic on that team, and they have secured that building already.
South of staging, 2 teams fighting. You can see in yellow and blue, they're making the rotation through just like you were talking about. But Team Liquid starts to get pushed by the bench warmers. Nox coming in on both sides. Nox seems to be the last person alive on this team. I don't think he's going to be able to do it. There goes the bubble res onto Nocturnal. Team Liquid putting down bench warmers.
I love this positioning too from Team Liquid. You saw what they were able to do with the synergy. They had fun on the other side by the door, and then they had the flank coming in from Flanker. I mean, it's in his name right there, and he went up and lived for it.
Now taking a look at another Valkyrie redeploy. This is going to be Premier GG. Again, another team that's pretty far from the zone. We know, based on the amount of teams already inside Lava Fissure, this is not going to be easy here. We'll see what Ronnie, Ambino, and Crook are going to be able to do as they make their way through Landslide.
Yeah, they're just going in for those rotations. We saw some Valkyrie ults coming down, the redeploy already, trying to prioritize that final circle that a lot of these squads already have noted. Knights now making their rotation here, looking so pretty nicely here with some damage already done, and it may be another squad that they're trying to push into, and it is the EMP coming in. This may be TSM.
There goes the EMP. There goes half of Asura's shields, and Guild taking some damage as well. Portal was nicely placed there, and that's one of the beauties about Wraith. When you want to go in and try to push over towards those buildings, you have the get out of jail free card.
Here, it's actually SMB actually also running the crypto, and this is super important to know because they've already utilized the EMP, and they're just still holding down to this building. The scan isn't going to find anyone just yet, as Knights, they realize they've taken the building, but at what cost with the squad rotating quickly out of there?
And if you've ever played Apex before, you know this Cerrito building always gets action. It's one of those spots that gets third party, especially when teams are starting to rotate from round number 1 into round number 2. So I like this play from both teams, having respect for each other, continuing to kind of push in. You have to just own as much real estate as you can, and that's what's going on right now. Knights was trying to cover as much as they can, but also they're wary of possible rotators coming in from behind them, so they don't want to push up too much. Otherwise, they're going to be sandwiched. Nice little gatekeeping building there for them.
Renegade's also having the gold elo shield here. Just gonna hold on to this building. Also having the bombardment. Speaking of bombardment, there's one going down right here in Geyser, and Absolute Monarchy are holding on to the high ground. They get the crack, and they also have the redeploy, so they don't really have to worry too hard about the first circle closing in on them. They have to worry about making sure they can get this KP with this pressure that they're putting on.
Sleepy Panda, you can't sleep on him at all. This guy is doing serious damage. That's gonna be Stunny going down. Sung goes down as he starts to push it around the corner, but he does a decent amount of damage along the way. 7 to the back, and that guy just skadoodled out of there somehow, blocking the door. Stomps hopefully is in the vicinity, but instead he's going for the bubble, possibly the res. No, he's gonna go and leave Sung onto the ground. They need to be careful though, because if they don't get this res, then third parties are coming in, which is already happening. So I would love to see them get Sung back in so he can lay down some barrels.
Oh, the fact that he is still alive and dipped. He pulled off the shield battery too. Now he's gonna be able to utilize the knockdown shield. They are going to be able to get the res, and Absolute Monarchy have gotten all their members back into this fight. Let's see what this Bloodhound could do to escape the situation. Maybe take the Geyser, and he is dipping. He is out of there, and he has not been able to get taken out.
I love that, getting that res rate on a song was so huge just in case something bad was to happen. Keep in mind, you have the Valkyrie redeploy. Yes, you're not going to fly all the way from Lava Fissure here, but you are going to make up some real estate, get a little bit closer towards the zone, and now you know you're playing Edge, so not a big deal. Picking up those early kill points helps that confidence, especially so early in the tournament so far.
I know they're a little bummed at the fact that they couldn't secure an extra point for their kills with the Bloodhound getting away. And they don't want to push too hard too, because you saw he was going pretty deep into the circle. And they do have the redeploy, but the redeploy can only take you so far. And they want to make sure that they can do it so safely, especially since the redeploy does come at its own risk.
I can see it in his eyes. The Bloodhound is coming back for those banners, Vicky. He was faking us all out. He's going deep into the zone. He's going to go for that back geyser res. It's still zone number 1. It's completely possible. I'd be surprised if they actually sat back and camped those banners. That's an opportunity to get a res if I've ever seen one.
Absolutely. I would be surprised too, especially with a lot of these squads waiting by the edge of the circle so that way they can have the opportunity to gatekeep. You don't want to put yourself at risk for 1 point that you can put on board. Placement so important here. And talking about placement and positioning, Charlotte Phoenix is that squad that are holding on to this building, but it's nice to note, like we said earlier, no concept here, so they may have to start rotating soon once they get where that next circle is going to be.
Winners from game number 1, but sitting in second place because we know NRG had a pop-off game. Second place, 11 points, 20 overall for them. They are sitting in first place. Interesting situation though, because you do not want to take this fight unless having a lot of knowledge around you. So Greek's gonna have to start hitting scans all over the place. Yes, you know that there's a team in front of you, but do you know what's towards your southeast? And that's what Greek's thinking right now.
Yeah, they're just patiently waiting to see where they're going to move to next. Also planning their next move. And we get to see actually what happened to Tex Candy because he had to dip away, we noted. But they actually were able to finish him off with the G7. Cat actually missed out on the kill feed. But that's super important to know because now you know that there won't be any reses outside of circle. But Ghost Gaming, they're looking like a ghost. Maybe not going ghost in the way that they want to. They've lost Metro and they've lost Bandits. It's so unfortunate. EMP now can at least put in a stun, add in some damage, allow another squad to come into third party, but it's going to be really difficult for 6 to get anything going.
6, if anyone can do it, it's him, but look at all the grenades, frags, everything going against Ghost right there. They got pinched in between SMP, and they got pinched in between TSM. Another EMP popping off right here. We may see another fight.
TSM holding on to this building. They knew exactly where the circle was going to pull to, and they have the beacon off to their right too. Despite that, we noted earlier, Imperial Howl on the crypto doesn't have to overextend with the drone to be able to get that next info.
Especially because of the fact that they have such good positioning right now too. They can really do whatever they want and constantly just think ahead of the enemy teams. Things are going to really start to get interesting with 17 squad. You see Team Liquid's getting to another fight. Snipe Down taking a ton of bursts. Info coming in for Hell, trying to figure out who is directly below them. Meanwhile, Serial and friends picking up a kill onto Mercy only. Guild with the shots. R3012 remember, this is that Dorito building that we talked about. This is a spot that everybody likes to fight at.
Peeking like this in these lobbies are just so lethal. It's so dangerous here. You saw how quickly Snipe Down was able to get melted there.
It looks like we have a listen in with the Knights. Let's hear how they take this fight.
Cracked him. Give me stat, give me stat.
I'm coming, I'm climbing up right now.
50 on my nade. Cracked one, I'm getting in.
Hound one.
Watching dead. He's right here, underneath. Dead.
Nice. I got gold helm too.
Good boys, good. That's what we need. Free KP.
I have 6 bats now.
Yeah, I do too.
Yeah, same here. They have any better bags?
I need energy. No. This kid didn't even have a bag. Oh no, he did. Is there any energy on any of the bodies or no?
I don't know. I don't think so. I saw a flatline with 210 ammo though. If you want to run that.
What the fuck? They're there.
There's a shit ton of flatline ammo. Yeah.
Where?
In that box.
The
Bloodhounds?
No.
Or the Gibby?
The Gibby, I think.
Okay.
Let me check the Bloodhounds box. See what he has.
No, it's fine.
He has another 170 heavy ammo and 170 light.
It's fine. Get to zone. We just need to play where Joey's playing.
いなそうじゃないどうでもさ、いなそうじゃないいたことがかつてあった
On the right side of the zone.
Let's just chill. Let's wait for them to hit the beacon and we can be fine. Do you need a digi or
多
no?
分ライフライン空飛んで
They bubbled the beacon.
Joey, do you need a
国
digi?
入って
Not really.
I mean, I could put it on my Mastiff, but
なんかミサイル撃てるようになったらみんな使うかも。
what are you doing? I don't really care. I have all I'm good.
Well, I don't care about it at all, and you.
Hey, listen to me. Let's go. I think they dropped. I think they dropped. Or they could still be there, but we need to walk up and bully these kids off. I think they're still there. Somebody just shot him. You ready?
右下は誰
There's
の
a
画
guy
面
on
な
the
んだろ
train
う。
cart.
戦闘してる人がい
Like
る
over
ね
here.。
ちょっとちっちゃすぎてどこのチームかわかんないけど。
I can scan. They're not up top.
Okay. You need to bubble the beacon. And he needs to scan. And we need to know where the fuck this is going.
All right, you ready to bubble me?
Yep. Team down at fence. That could be them.
で、確かにね、じゃあさ、超面白くないね。
Yeah, it's the exact zone we just always
当た
have.
ってるチームが
Okay,
多
so we need to do
分
our
右
play,
下
yeah?
に
We
表
can
示さ
do
れるようにな
this.
ったんだよね。
And then we could
きっと
even play in the ravine, maybe.
ね戦い合ってるチ
I
ー
don't
ムが。
know if we'll be able to get away with crossing like we did last time. I'm gonna be honest.
I mean, we just need to get to here.
It's all about formulating your plan. In order to do that, you have to have the zone knowledge. You can see they have the high ground here, but there are plenty of teams, Vicky, that are gatekeeping.
And I love the way that Nice is playing so aggressive, just also taking into consideration where they want to flank to. As they make their rotation in, they also get scanned as they drop from the high ground. Things are turning up here. TSM still holding on to that building, by the way. Also having that intel is so important. They know where that next circle is going to be pulling, but you know the southern part closer to Lava Fisher is going to be chaos with the squad hanging out on the high ground by the train tracks.
And that beacon building is still in. So whoever predicted that one really feeling good about the current situation. Look at how many teams are outside of this next zone that was scanned.
There was like 3 squads in that area, aside from the squad that's on the high ground closer to Lava Fisher. You can see on the map is absolutely insane. But then players here like Sleepy Panda, having to redeploy is going to be so necessary when you're hugging the edge of the circle and figuring out where a lot of the action is going down here.
And you know who has a decent position, but if they get a little bit too pressured, they are going to collapse. It's NRG. They've been playing Neath under that bridge for quite some time now. All those teams to the south side have to make their way towards them, so I can't wait to see what they do here.
It's a matter of waiting and seeing what energy does. They don't have purple Evo shields just yet, and it looks like they're a little low on ammunition, so it looks like they may want to find an opportunity to loot some of these death boxes or fully send it in on a player who may not be expecting where energy is currently located.
Yeah, that's an energy player's worst nightmare. 70 just in the L-Star, and you know you have that Bolt as the secondary. Renegades using the L-Star to themselves. Bubble gonna go down by the enemy team. Defensive bombardment as well. Really nicely placed. That splits Renegades up just a little bit. Fortunately for Saucer, he does not get hit by one.
Oh my, there's so many L-Stars being used, and for a good reason too, Tom. Just being able to beam a lot of these squads, to beam with the Arc Star, getting the break. Vaccines in trouble though, gets hit twice with the Mastiff, but it's okay. The rest of Renegades, they clean up, but not before a third party is now rolled in.
Amazing arcs are on top of the bubble, but the third parties are just going to be too strong. It's going to be a bounce pad for Saucer. However, he's just running into trouble, doing whatever he can, and he's going to get eliminated. 15th place there for Renegades. Meanwhile, NRG, we talked about them having some action over here, and it continues.
We talk about their positioning too. They moved in at the perfect time. They weren't the ones pinched. Instead, they're the ones doing the pinching. You can see how they were able to rack enough damage to get that purple Evo onto Rocker, and they're already making their rotation without having to burn the ult from Valkyrie.
And Serial's back up. They got the res right there, though, and Nathan is trying to add as much pressure as possible. Meanwhile, Rocker throwing down that defensive bombardment, I believe, is the flank coming in from Sweet. Nathan's so separated from the team, he has to be careful.
It's scary here, and meanwhile, you see a Sentinel shot taking a victim. See the 30-30 also in the feed. They know that there may be somebody right behind them. They're looking at the zip line just in case. I also see a bullet, just a stray bullet flying right past Sweet's head, and it is going to be a squad making their way onto the train tracks off to the right.
30 seconds until the zone moves. Let's see what NRG does. Will they Valkyrie ult? Will they foot it? Let's do a listen here with NRG.
Come with me. We're going to Valk ult from low ground here.
I'm literally out of bullets
completely. Jump down. On you, Nate! Crack them. Dead. Bubble. I'm rezzing.
Bubble.
It's fine. We still have time.
I need armor stop.
Yeah, I'm not taking it.
Bubble.
Top team above us. We need to go here and Valk. No time. Come left underneath.
これ覚えた。バブって言ったらドーム出してってことらしい。ドームシールドのことバブルっつうんだって。ジーブちゃんの。
I'm
ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジーブちゃんの。ジー
Okay, keep coming through.
あれしょうがにさんヤッホー。そう、
Team behind, but
高い
not
見てん
zone.
のよ。
I'm going around. I'm going around.
Here's my knock. Here's my knock. Here's my knock.
おはよう。
Everybody else is Valk ulting right now.
I think you guys are safe.
Tate no
Yeah, we're low key
no.
chilling right here. We're low key chilling right here. I'm gonna res.
Maybe.
No, the blood on team on mark.
Come to me, come to me.
Give me. I'm gonna nade that. They're not safe there. They're not safe there. Oh. They
Holy
throw a
knock,
nade on
holy
Rucker.
knock.
Hold your knock on that.
What?
Ah.
Oh no.
I
They're bubbling
blocked
down
it.
on us.
They're
Somebody
bubbling.
bubble. Octane jumping in. I'm backing up Rucker or Nate.
厳しいね、やっぱ
I'm
ね。
dead.
They're all
I
fucking
backed all the
sitting.
way up. I backed all
I
the way
know,
up.
I know. Okay, we're just gonna play placement here. I'm coming to you.
I literally have 14 bullets. The fucking meme.
厳しいね。
If those guys get
こ
fucked
れ
with in that
チー
corner,
ム
we need to jump on them and kill them.
How intense it is to be in Energy's shoes right now. Meanwhile, TSM are in a very similar situation, but they've only got sniped down. Can they glitch us out? This is what happens when you put the purple ball on a shotgun. He reps is forced to hang up on low, the knockdown shield, and he's won, and he still punches it out, but another squad rolls in at the perfect time, and not only takes all the loot, but they take the KP as well. It's gonna be Charlotte Phoenix. They're winners from game number 1.
Charlotte Phoenix having another good performance here, getting inside the top 10, taking over TSM's spot as well, and possibly more points on the board over here. But what a job by Reps coming through, killing that player with the armor swap. Now Charlotte Phoenix is feeling the aggression. They have players on the ropes inside the donut.
And look how many squads are already out. TSM Renegades, they're not in this anymore. Currently, you see Charlotte Phoenix still continue on their legacy with in game number 2. They want to carry in some of that momentum, and they have so many death boxes to work off of too, Tom. And this is crazy because now they're also going to be able to see what's happening here. Nathan actually getting it down despite them being a two-man army.
Yeah, and unfortunately they weren't able to get that portal in and ended up getting knocked, and now you can see it's just absolute crazy over towards the side as we take a look at this push coming in, and just really well-timed third party, making it look easy there. It's not easy with so many teams around to just make that decision. And now we take a look at that overhead map, the fly-through. It's Zach staying alive over towards the bottom side. Bursty and his squad are alive. The team from Mexico, it's Legacy, coming through with the high ground play. I love this play if they can get up here.
Oh, but they land right on top of a Wraith who has the alternator. She dips down, understands the situation, and now you currently see Joe Max being able to set up these caustic barrels. Super important here as some makeshift cover. But then they also have to worry about Charlotte Phoenix, who have now made their way over. They take the jump pad, and it's a fight for this high ground, Tom.
What a bounce pad right there. Everybody's staying alive so far from Charlotte Phoenix. Not just that, they're healthy. The bubble, the bounce pad, everything really coming together for Charlotte Phoenix. Amazing plays so far. This is a building that just gets so much action towards the end of the game. Look at two people from Energy on the outside. Players on the inside, another team on top of the roof. We have 6 squads in this final circle.
I mean, we heard it from them before. They wanted to play for placement. That's exactly what they're doing. They're waiting for the opportunity as they're hanging out on the low ground. There's still 6 squads alive. Now, as some of these players, they're dropping like flies. Rocker, again, we saw earlier, isn't going to be in this. It's just Energy, a 2-man team, and they're going to be trying to play this patiently as they have to with the squad holding onto the roof.
We'll have to find out where the rest of the squads are because we know 3 are at this building. Nathan's going to drop. That's going to be Stink going down. 2 more players for Charlotte Phoenix, but there's a battery right in front of him on the Bloodhound. He gets over towards the roof, but Sweet knows there's going to be players all over the place. Armor swaps if he wants them, but he has to pick up his team's beacon. Cloud9 staying alive over towards the outskirts, and now they are looking poised for a win.
There's been a different adventure over here off to the side. The adventure that wasn't going down over at Lava Fisher. Meanwhile, C9, they have some KP in their favor, but they're not trying to overextend. They don't want to jump into the bubble just yet as it's about to run out, and they are going to be able to send it forward. Meanwhile, Energy Sweet manages to clutch it out. He finalizes that team that held onto the inside of the building, and this is huge here for Energy.
How does Sweet do that? How do they do it? Is just a duo. Meanwhile, you have all 3 players from Cloud9 looking really healthy. They're bouncing back from game number 1.
It's actually insane. I'm sitting at the edge of my seat right now with the way that a lot of these squads now have to make this rotation in the final round, and now currently C9 are forced to go through this open ground, but they have some cover off to their left side with the rocks.
No doubt about it. This is all C9's game. You can see the portal for desperation coming through. It's just a matter of time before they close this one out. Naughty with 6 kills has to be the kill leader throughout it when it's all said and done. Possibly going to be able to make it to the portal, but not enough time. Cloud9 takes game number 2.
What a performance, though, from Energy. Gotta highlight Sweet doing what Sweet does best, and it's staying alive. His rotations and positioning is always on point. But even better here, looking at the way that C9 was able to take that game. And also, we didn't get to see it too often, but I'm really popping off with the Kraber.
That was really nicely done. Again, C9 with just a phenomenal game. They avoided all of that action. They kept the action in front of them. Big win over towards the side. I love how Zach Mazer, when that bubble was going to go away, he immediately charged onto the Gibraltar. No one was expecting that slide off the blue box.
That was really crazy to see C9 being able to stay in terms of their positioning off to the side, away from the chaos. They have 9 kills, and winning that game is going to give them 21 points in total.
Yeah, and Energy Charlotte Phoenix going to be very close in terms of the leaderboard up top. I think that's going to be 1 point that Energy is going to have on that leaderboard. Charlotte Phoenix definitely going to be in 2nd place, and Kate's team, Noble, coming in 3rd place.
Crazy to see now, looking at the way that Energy's been performing, completely different look in comparison to last week, and C9 now taking game number 2. Is this going to be a similar case here, Tom, where some of these teams that they win these games may not be able to take another win, or are we going to see consistency come out across the board in NA?
It's going to be game number 6 when someone gets that double win. We'll find out, though. Taking a look at who was the damage leader on this C9 squad. We know that Naughty had 7 kills, but he's stole our rollies. Let's be honest. Zach Mazer coming in with 2 kills as well, 1,600 damage.
I look at that too. The way that Stay Naughty just came in, swooped up all of Aberlele's kills. You know what? We call that teamwork, right? We call that teamwork. Yeah, right? It's not like the scans give you that assist anyways anymore, so you want to make sure you scoop up all the kills, finish the job done. But I think this highlights C9 and what aggression tactic they're trying to go for, approaching these lobbies, because it's so important to note here that C9, they want to make sure that they can stay consistent when it comes to a lot of these squads that have kind of fallen off in comparison to the first week.
I know what Naughty did. He did not stop shooting. He took the advice from the previous game, and then he came through and just was ripping players apart. But what a fight from C9 when they had that bubble down. That was absolutely huge. There's that overall leaderboard. Just 1 point separating 1st and 2nd place.
And again, have to highlight, Energy in that 2nd game was disastrous at the very end. You saw Sweet try to stay alive for as long as possible, breaking ankles, by the way, from the inside of that building, cleaning up that squad, which also secured a lot more KP for Energy. Despite them not winning.
The pace is fast right now. 33 points is a lot after 2 games. You can see the consistency really paying off for Energy and Charlotte Phoenix. It's going to be tough for the rest of these teams to catch up. They're going to have to start doing it together in game number 3 and game number 4.
We're going to have to see what kind of different game plan they're going to bring onto the board, because I would like to say here, looking at how a lot of these squads have been playing so aggressive, Tom, I want to see that coming in for the rest of the day. That was only game number 2, so a lot of these squads are still trying to find their footing.
And I think we saw a little bit more cryptos. I'm not sure if there was some switches going forward, but there's definitely 4 or 5 cryptos in this lobby, which again, the more cryptos you add, you get a little bit weaker based on that. The more caustics in the lobby, you get a little bit weaker if you're caustic as well. So it's going to be fun to see which crypto team is going to prevail when it's all said and done.
I'm really excited to see how this is going to play out now. Looking at a lot of these squads that we have coming up, and now looking at the way that these squads have been playing, I'm telling you now, the aggression is going to be turned all the way up, and we're going on to halftime for game number 3, Tom.
Yeah, we're coming up on game number 3. We're going to take a quick break. Don't go anywhere.
それを6回繰り返して合計点が高い上位10チームが世界大会進出ね、世界大会がもう今から楽しみだわ。4週目くらいから新キャラだらけになりそう。ねえねえねえ、新キャラ使っていいルールなんかね。だとしたらそれも楽しみだね。新キャラの使い方にしてもらえるの。
Lenovo Legion is the official PC and monitor of the APEX Legends Global Series.
大会の間に来ないかな。こんだけ毎試合マイチームジブいるとジブちゃんのナーフとか来そうな気もするけど。なんで APEX は個人技で勝てた時代があったの？昭和にさ。あー、バージョン6とかしてたよね。新キャラ新武器強すぎ問題だけど、あータイミング的に確かに新武器って出た頃さめっちゃ強いもんね、出たばっかの時。あースキルがドームの時点でどんなにナーフされても使われそうか。なん 昭和の頃、嘘。昭和の頃にそれはやちさん、昭和めさんの昭和にかけてそういう時期がありましたっていうこと言っているの？おトイレ行ってこよう。あ、おトイレ行ってくるときはこう。何？江戸時代のエーペックスは石ころしか武器なかったのか？なるほどね、ドンタコさん。行ってきます。
Oh my goodness, what an incredible game too. James, all of these matches, just 2 games, have been so action-packed. I want to point out that CLT had 10 kills in that game too. Like, their timing has been perfect. Their timing and positioning. I know they didn't win this one, but the way that they pushed that team on that rooftop to take that position was key. It was so well done.
Yeah, people are definitely trying to get the most out of their positional advantage, and we saw great examples from that from Cloud9 especially. And I did describe them as hyenas earlier on, and I think that the if you look at the damage there, what was it, 7 kills and about 1100 damage. Those are hyena kills, man. They're just finishing off wounded opponents. You know, they're just like doing the most with the least possible. But that was a great victory for Cloud9. I just suddenly saw in a kill feed there was just this big long sniper rifle and a headshot at the end of it, and I saw they had a Kraber, so I'm sure they had a lot of fun with that, and we'll see if they can keep it up. I did question if Cloud9 could deliver the goods based on the success they were having earlier in this week. So far so good. Game 2 in the bag for Cloud9, so I'm looking to see if they can do any more than that. You can't score 1 goal and then just defend after that, right? You gotta get a bigger lead than that. You gotta score more goals than you concede. So we'll see if Cloud9 can be consistent in Game 3.
Yeah, and NRG did a great job. I mean, Sweet and I forget who it was, but he had 2 teammates. I mean, he was at a disadvantage with 2v3s basically with all the other squads. So it was Sweet and Nathan, and Rocker had died. So the 2 of them held out really strongly, and then in the end, it was just Sweet who ended up securing 3 additional TPs. So they had 4 TP overall, and they placed second. So they did a really good job in holding off the other teams and trying to pick the battles where they could. So real big kudos to NRG. Everyone is on top of their game today. I don't know what's going to happen in Game 3.
Yeah, for sure. In terms of placement, with only 1 player being up, that's great. Very well done. But indeed, the extra KP is huge as well, and that could be very fundamental as we move into our 3rd game here in North America. It's time to hop out of the dropship and find a nice place to land.
A nice relaxing place to land, right? With lots of loot, hopefully some purple shields or gold shield.
There is an old African saying, that my mother used to say.
すぐみんな
Level
で
up your
こ
shield
ぞ
as
って
soon as
打つよ
possible.
ね
So we'll see if these teams can do that, if
あ
they
世
can
界
find their
大
blue
会の
and
予選
purple
も
armor
兼ねてるって感
once
じ
they
か
land in their
地域
areas.
対別の大
Let's
会
see
っ
where
て
they
感じか
choose to
予
go.
選っていうよね
NRG will be heading down. Of course, they'll have the Valk in tow as well.
だってめちゃ
Man
め
like
ちゃ
Nathan on the
こ
ones and twos, going
うめちゃ
straight
め
for
ちゃ
the
に
B.
打たれてさ壊れちゃい
Math
そうだよ
knowledge, just
ね
knowing where to
で
go.
メイさ
I
ん
mean,
キノ
if
コマン
any
さん
of
お
these
からし
matches
を
have
や
taught
っ
us
ちさんお
anything,
帰り
it's
あり
that
がとう
positioning early on is key.
あ
I mean,
致
you
命的
really
ワー
want
ド
to
は
be
シー
into
ズンの
these
切り替わ
POIs
りじゃ
early.
なくていつ
Especially
で
something
も
like
起き
Lava
るから
Fissure.
大
Lava
丈夫
Fissure
か
is extremely hard to defend because of the lava underneath.
今度右上
Sometimes you get
だ
lucky and people don't look at you
エピ
underneath
セ
there, but
ン
I mean,
ターの方だっ
NRG was
て
struggling for a while when they were below everyone else.
Stella,
初動で
have
さ
a
フ
look
ァ
at
イト
that.
が始まるところ
Ring,
は
ring. That is open.
ないん
That
だ
is
ねこう見る
exposed
と
to the elements. There's a lot of snow over there.
Yeah.
Rather them than
完
me.
全に場所が
That's,
丸かぶ
I
りし
wonder
て
how
狭い
it's
とこ
going to
で
close even further from there.
争
Because
い合うっ
depending
て
on
い
where
う
it
ことが
closes,
ない
it may
平和
get
な
even
始ま
more
りなんだ
open. I
ね
mean, this is not a circle that I would want to play in.
Yeah, and Cloud9 will certainly be happy. They have minimal rotation, so they can focus on trying to grief as many people as possible. As they said, free KP everywhere. Team Liquid will be looking to try and find some gold armor and such once they're able to finish these trials. So things are looking interesting for them. And of course, TSM have quite the area to loot from. They have a lot of loot they
こ
can
の
go
チ
through.
ー
So
ム
I
は
would expect them
特
to have
にや
some
や
good
こい
shields
ね
soon.
TSM ついて
Yeah, and
た
I
り
think
クラウ
Knights
ド9つい
actually
てたり
crossed the way
このチーム
from...
一番や
I
や
think
こ
there's
いね
another team around here, but it looks like this place is going to be uncontested for now, and they're just kind of suffering on shields. 1 purple shield and 2 white.
All blue here for Renegades, who've had some great runs in these games so far. But they'll be looking to have a higher placement. If you are joining us late, where have you been? But also, Charlotte Phoenix won the first game, Cloud9 with the second, and TSM will be looking for a W as well. We're going to have a look at their early comps right now.
いいドームで
Oh my
出
goodness.
た出た出た出たいいドームやったけども序盤はプラウラーくらいしか見どころがないからいつも映してんの
At the bat.
He's down.
At the bat.
He's down in the little fucking ravine. We need to get this finish.
Yes. I had to heal. They have a charge rifle down. They have a charge rifle just looking over.
これは困っちゃったねあのチーム
I
ね
got him. I got him. Let's go. Get out of here.
You might have to watch my climb up.
I'm checking these bins for loot. I need
Alright,
fucking
I
ammo.
need your 3x as well.
There's a team going up the balloon in front of
I
us.
see that. I see that. I see that. The team just flew into fucking Overlook. I'm dropping you, Phoenix.
Phoenix, get here.
I'm going to go fucking.
Hit the beacon.
I'm going to. I need to get in a safe
ジ
spot
ャ
first.
ンさんが
I'm good up here
止
like we
め
were
ら
holding
れちゃ
for.
った
I saw Hal just dropped one of the bench warmers team. For a second, I thought Cloud9 were coming, but it was Nox actually.
苦笑いしてた
C9
ね
Nox,
あ
on bench
の
warmers
解
who got
説のお
dropped.
姉さん苦
I
笑いだっ
imagine
たよ
he'll
ね
get
今
res,
ね
but it is early pressure, isn't it, for TSM?
It is. You can
苦笑いの
tell
お
that
姉
they're
さ
under a
ん
lot of pressure right now, and they are trying to just make up for the last game. And there, I mean, I understand it. It's a lot of pressure. It is day 3, so I totally
そうなん
understand.
だ
Looks like Lazarus is actually moving into the direction of where TSM is, but on the other side. They're getting all the scans here as well.
Yeah, TSM may have a number of people flying in their direction as it's kind of midway from further away from the zone. But that means plenty of targets, plenty of potential KP, but it also means plenty of potential 3Ps as well. So one must be careful.
Yeah, looks like Knights still suffering a little bit on shields here. With
なんかさ
round
こ
1
のチー
closing,
ムよ
Asura
く
still
映され
has
てん
white
だ
shields,
よ
but
しょ
I
っ
mean,
ちゅう
other
こ
than
の
that,
チ
it looks
ー
like their
ム
loot
映
is
されて
decent,
る
but they are getting
な
shot
な
at
いと
across
って
the
い
way.
うんかな
Yep,
Okay.
such is the trials and tribulations of rotation. Gonna
この
get
チームなん
shot
か
at by
注
anyone
目
who
チーム
sees
なん
you.
かな
I want to point out in the kill feed that
このチームの視点よく映ってる。
Noble is popping off right now, downing 2 people, and I think they're in a fight currently, but they are coming out on top.
I can see TSM seems to be having a look. They want to find out where these teams are and what they might be trying to do. It's really cool as well watching Hal's POV because he has just a great sense for when a player or a team is vulnerable and when they can capitalize and seize an opportunity. So it is really scary being anywhere close to TSM, you know, which is why I can respect people trying to grief them and take them out early and so on. Because if you leave it up to them to do, then it's going to be even more painful. And I think we see a Rampage causing some problems, and Sweet is trying to get more out of this as well.
Yup, oh my god, that Gibraltar went down so fast. Oh, it looks like TSM sees this fight. They're trying to get in some picks here.
Yeah, looking to get involved.
詰めてこなくてよかったね。
We have 20 squads up, but we've got 4 players down, and one of them has fallen at the hands of reps, and we can see Nox. He got peppered earlier, I think, by he got dropped by Hal earlier on, and they definitely did finish off the job, as we can see here. So, to the victor, the spoils. They will take everything they want. So that's some nice early success for TSM, but let's not forget, it's so important to place in the late numbers. And I see Nathan spots a player who's just complete flesh, and Malice Mamba has been eliminated. Now we're down to 55.
And energy doesn't seem to be slowing down at all. Look, going from fight to fight, trying to get different picks and just trying to eliminate the enemy teams as quickly as possible. It looks like they might be doing a rotation or coming back to fight in this fight in Overlook.
Yeah, Malice Mamba from team Buff Pathfinder. And I think that some of these teams who came through the pre-season qualifiers may not be, not to say that he did anything wrong in that position, may just be unfortunate, but I would imagine that they may not be as efficient as the more storied players here. So they may be targets for teams who are looking to farm some KP.
Yeah, I think it was unfortunate timing. I mean, NRG was pushing them pretty heavy there, and that was the sole survivor. So, you know, getting picked out there, just unfortunate.
Knights on the hunt now, looking to take a building at the very least. If they can force this team out, then that may be good enough. They'll get some cracks as well, and that will certainly encourage them to fall away. But the Prowler is hunting for more. We've got one player on the roof, though, so one must be careful. The scan will give them the information. Going for those high grenades, which may land and be a complete surprise, but we've got a bombardment as well. And there's more than 2 teams in this position, so someone's going to be in a lot of trouble.
Yes, Panda's team looking to third whenever the other teams look fairly weak. It looks like they're engaging fairly early. I mean, oh, and there's another team. I think that's a 4th party from Ghost Gaming.
Yeah, Mona's another preseason qualifier team are in a hell of a lot of trouble here. Some of them are down, some of them are dead, and they'll be lucky to get away with this with even one player alive. And Ghost Gaming, we did say that they may be a sleeper team to watch. That's a cheeky down, but Joey Blackout makes it into the door, so the res could come through. However, the harassment may continue if they choose to pursue this, because it's 3 versus 2. They can't really res as they aggress the door. The door's been blown off as well. The dome is up for a quick bat, and this may not be the end of this. I think Ghosts are looking for even more up close with the PK. I don't think he hit all the shots though, and down he goes. And Ghosts find themselves in trouble now. Metro with practically 1 HP. This has not gone the way they were expecting.
Not at all. I think Penders thought that he had the easy kill there, but now they're kind of outnumbered. And now they have to watch their backs and their fronts. But they do end up getting the kills on the Knights there.
It's heating up now as everybody vies for some real estate. Ghost Gaming somehow have all 3 players still alive. We can see Sung running around as well. He's a favorite Caustic to watch. But Ghost will seem to be stabilizing now. I mean, it's not the most comfortable position. They'll look for some intel with the crypto, but they're getting their shields up, they're getting their health up.
Yeah, this was just... This push could have gone really badly for Ghost, but luckily it worked out for them, and the other teams did back off, so now they have to defend this position here at this opening. Luckily they can replace all the resources that they use there. Looks like energy is still hanging out in Overlook.
My team name is Tokyo Pepe Ames.
Oh no, it looks like C9 did move in here as well. They're all just eyeing each other here, James. They're just looking at each other like who's going to make the first move.
Right. Well, the problem is you try and move to a new position and you don't know how many guns are going to be trained on you when you're in that exposed area, when you have that lack of cover, when you're in transit, and it's not ideal for you to stop and try and defend yourself. So it's a very dicey situation. And again, that was a very uncomfortable, very dodgy, very ropey situation for Ghost Gaming. To use some London terms, kind of like buying a curry at 2 a.m. You're not really sure what's going to happen, you know? Yeah. Sometimes it'll go your way, sometimes you'll be in a lot of trouble. But we're going to have a listen into what Ghosts are talking about at the moment.
Afterwards, like balance out or rotate. But I think like this should be extremely safe by comparison to the other side. Just be ready to potentially rip a Valk ult up here.
Complain and you shall receive. I'm 3 bats. It says Feeny.
Alright, we might start getting really like pressured on ridge. I don't see anybody on left though.
ダイヤモンドランクマッチを地獄に感じな
Alright,
く
the
なれる
outermost
かもし
side
れ
is
ない
always gonna be
ね。
the safest. We swing farther left.
ここ以
And we
上
work
の地
our
獄
way
は
in.
な
Eventually
いだ
get
ろ
like
う
really
ね。
group with us. You're very far away and you're a bub. We have 3 like no safe characters.
I didn't see anything in no name to our right.
Yeah, I'm gonna swing left and we're gonna work our way towards this building and then go towards subway.
こんなのエペックスリーグと比べたらまあまだまだよって思えるかもしれない。
Could be ratting in here. Could be ratting in here.
みんな影響されて地獄がさらに加速する。
Okay, I'm gonna start looking for info. I'm gonna get on second. Yeah, I'm going second.
Go second or third?
I'm second. Second's pretty dangerous.
They are vibing indeed. That was a reasonably comfortable rotation into the zone. But what may be uncomfortable... Oh yeah, we do see that Kraber now on Nocturnal. That is a big booty gun right there. We'll see if he can land any shots. But, you know, the Kraber does not have all the shots in the world, so I don't think you necessarily want to just take every target. Like, if you're going to down someone, but you're not going to kill them, do you want to take the shot? It's something you want to bear in mind because you want that Kraber to give you KP essentially. So you do need a little target selection, and we see another care package has landed, and who knows what goodies are in there.
Ooh, I see Nocturnal trying to take these shots, but may also just be peeking to see where teams are rotating into. Listen, as someone who loves getting the Kraber, I sense the temptation. It is so hard not to take your shot every time.
What I am interested about as well in these NA lobbies is considering how hectic these games have been so far, and just how much stuff is in the replicator at the moment. Purple backpack, purple helmet, purple bolt, digi threat as well. Maybe less important. I do wonder how much people will spend time on replicators, considering you want to get batteries out of there as well. A Nocturnal teasing us at the moment, just having a look-see, but not quite pulling that trigger.
Yeah, I think it's smart that he is holding back because then that also alerts everyone in the area that someone has a Kraber and may not want to peek. So he is honestly being pretty smart in playing and scouting for his team there.
Yeah, he's got high ground in 2 directions as well, which is pretty saucy when you have a gun such as that. And again, the Monas, they've been somewhat bullied in this game so far. We can see not even time to get the shields off, really just focusing on the health because he is in that ring at the moment, that ring of fire, if you will. Butt naked now as well, really needs to get his shields up, even if he gets an opportunity, as he is being focused still. He is being gatekeeped from even entering the main playable area, so this is a really rough situation for the Monas.
Yeah, I mean, luckily the ring isn't doing too much damage, so they can get out, but once they get out of this, they're just going to have to continue running, and it looks like they're running low on resources, so they might be a little bit out of luck here, unless they're able to outrun this.
Yeah, I do wonder how much they'll be hunted, because again, this is not like a pub. You've got to consider your position as well, especially if you have some kind of building. That real estate is so important. I think in many cases, especially with that kind of range, you know, once he's made it to the zone, like you've got to just leave him and hold your position instead.
Yeah, and we did talk about how open this area is. I mean, look, even from this trailer, you can see so far across the map. So if they're coming in late, they might just get hit out of the circle.
TSM seems to be getting closer to Team Liquid, and if that Kraber lands, I don't even want to hear the comms. That's going to be very, very interesting indeed. And you can see NRG also spotting, just keeping an eye on things. Again, you just want your bullets to count, you know, you want to be as efficient as you can with your weaponry. See if TSM get to red armor soon. They've got some nice space inside this building, which is also important. We can see that Kraber popping off in the picture-in-picture as well.
ねプレイヤー本人がね、クラブ名だのなんだの変えるのは大変だろうからさ。
The pressure just did not let up whatsoever.
クラブ名と普通にね、チームの名ね、あれしてほしい。てかクラブ名いらないから、チーム名とそのプレイヤーのお名前にしてほしい。
Oh my goodness, and stay naughty with those wingman shots on the Valk.
Oh, is that two?
So
what happens when they land now? They may not be the only team who's targeting them flying out the sky, but they're excited about it. You can see that scan coming through. They want to get something from this. I think I may have just heard a Bloodhound ultimate as well. I'm not sure. I don't think it was from them, so maybe a different team. So things are getting very interesting indeed. You see Renegades playing the edge. They've got some space though. They can hop down. There's no one above them for the time being, but things may get a little awkward for them as they have to press on. We can see Legacy Mexico have been eliminated. Got to keep an eye on the representation there. The people flying the odd flag for a country. So Legacy Mexico would be one of those teams here in the NA region. Shout outs to them. Cloud9. Oh, they're going to have some action soon.
Yeah, they understand that there are many other teams. I mean, Naughty's scan caught 6 hostiles. And 10 plus hostiles. You know what? If I were him, I'd say, you know, All Father stay psych right now. I don't want to participate in this.
Well, they may have to. But I think they salivate when they see that many targets. We heard them in the previous game. Free KP everywhere. The Valk ults begin as well. 8 seconds until that ring closes. Look at the size of the ring to where it's going. 15 squads are contained in this area. We're going to have some huge problems. And Cloud9 have got a lot of targets. We're going to listen in and see what's happening for them.
Okay, you want me to come to you now? Or play this? All right,
yes, just play on me, man.
Got it. I'm going to you.
This is bait, bro.
That's flying right.
Yeah, bro, holy shit.
Look right here, free KP on the roof. No, free on the roof.
This team has blue armors.
ハンバーガーチームのバンズと
Another Valk team flying.
ミートと
On the car.
Dead on red. Look for our full kills.
Thurston.
Look right here. Full kills. They're rezzing in the open.
Cracked one.
90, 120 on
I got the full kill. I got the full kill.
I got my
でもハンバーガーは挟みたいからバンズは2枚なんかバンズミートバンズじゃないかぶっちゃうねそうするとまたややこい
Look at the cart. I knocked one in the cart. Wait, I actually think we can third this because our side is so safe. Yes, our side is so fucking safe, man. Or unless we at least let me third.
I have fucking 30 heavy, bro.
I know.
Kraber up.
Give me ult back. Give me ult back. Give me ult back.
I don't have it.
Mac,
it's in 15. It's in 15.
Kraber on bubble. Kraber on there. Mac, take that helmet, man. Take the fucking helmet, man.
I have one.
All right.
This is bad.
I need heavy.
What do you want heavy here, bro? How much do you have? I have 40. On another stat.
I have pad. They're still fighting on low ground.
Can we go back to our spot, maybe? Because that's better.
No, they're big. This is so good. 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 This is so good.
Third fighting, yeah.
Look at the backside. Give me the one. Dead.
Keep shooting. I'm saving my pad. Look right here. Team right there.
Caustic fried. One on roof. I'm saving my ult for later.
Scanning. I died, bro.
I'm fucking delayed.
Res.
I bubbled. I got it.
Drop me an armor, Mac.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Not even 30. They're not even 30.
So I can make it.
No, we have to go back up our hill. We have to go back up our hill.
I know.
Ammo. Just find your ammo and fucking dip.
Yes. Let's go.
I got ammo. I'm good. I'm switching to a flatline.
I got alternator.
Nice. Oh, give me that shit, bro. Shut up right now.
Let's go.
Drop it. Don't say a word.
I can't. I don't have time.
I don't care anymore. You're weird.
Organized chaos may be the best way to describe Cloud9, but boy, are those comms interesting. In the meantime, TSM lost at least 2 players, and they're really up against it now. Snipe down, maybe down soon. He's got the high ground. He can just go on the other side of the rock immediately, but he can't escape entirely, and TSM will be frustrated with that finish.
Yeah, it looks like Benchwarmers took out the entire team of TSM there. They've got to be feeling sore about that. And I think it's been pointed out that that's the second time TSM got 11th place.
Yeah, that's rough. That is really rough, and they will lament the success that Cloud9 are having at the moment. They thrive in the chaos of things. Cloud9, you can see their comms. It's interesting because it's not the most efficient, but it's what works for them, and that's more important than anything else. And they're looking to shred even more. Abraleli with Dank trying to hide behind a care package. That's not going to work out for him.
あのチー
Zach's
ムも
in
生きて
trouble
るし
though,
ま
and
だ
Cloud9 have to stabilize now. I think we've got a res coming through. Indeed, we do. As Stay Naughty tries to cover with the alternator. So far, so good. Zach Maze is back up. Gonna pop a bat immediately. That scan will certainly make people think twice about pushing as well.
Oh my goodness, what do you even do when you scan that many people in one location, especially under one building?
You shout, free KP, free KP, free KP!
この間のハスキキさんハンバーグの泉さんバジルさん3人とも指令が出せるタイプの3人が固まっちゃった時状態みたいになってるわけね。
Their teamwork has been incredible today.
目乾いちゃってる。
And with 6 more teams remaining, including them, they've got some more work to do here. You can see NRG just chilling in the truck for now. Again, they don't want to be out there taking damage. You don't want to become 6 by something going wrong for you, so you got to be real careful.
Yeah, I'm a little surprised to see NRG with 2 purples and 1 blue shield, especially going into final circle. I mean,
やっぱ
round
り
6,
指
this
令
is going
と
to be
ピクミ
rough.
ンピクミンの組み合わせがやっぱり
Yeah, we can see Premier
一番
GG. Oh, where has that
丸いかも
come
しれない
from?
ね。
That's a nasty surprise, and that has become very awkward indeed. Get a quick bat. They're chilling in a truck as well. And we can see SMP now really trying to hold on to the everyone's trying to hold on to the buildings as much as they can, but Cloud9 have the highest ground, I believe, and that may be the most important thing right now.
Oh, Cloud9. Alberlele goes down, but Stay Naughty and Zach are still in it. They might be able to get this res if people don't focus on them.
Yeah, that was a really clutch pad, especially because the zone was right around the corner. And I think they're too deep on the high ground for anyone to really punish that. NRG still chilling, just staying out of it for now. If they want some more KP, they can get it later, unless an opportunity presents itself like that. I don't know if he gets res, especially with the zone coming through. Cloud9 are starting to rack up the kills as well, so we're going to go down to 3 squads very soon, I think.
5 squads left as the circle gets smaller and smaller. NRG is going to have to push out of that soon, but for now they are holding ground. Looks like Cloud9 has the higher ground. They're able to see everyone that's left right now. They might be in the best position to push into this fight.
Yeah, with all the action, bombardments and so on, the Bloodhound ult certainly helps, but it has come and gone already. Just trying to dance around the bombs, but I don't think he's going to be able to do that. He can still heal, though. That's what the high ground gets you. No one really has an angle to do anything about it. We're down to 3 squads now. Cloud9, yes, they're in a good position, but they are taking a lot of damage as well, which means heals. Alberlele currently naked, trying to get a shield cell up. The alternator could be clutching this late game. Somehow, still 3 squads. The high ground might not work out for them. Alberlele now the last man standing. Can he deliver for his team? Still 3 squads. The zone's not helping either. Reloading the shotgun. Who's going to take it? Who's the last team? Hey, it's Exit here now. Just trying to finish off the job. NRG will be the team. Focusing on downed players with the shotgun. NRG just clean through. That was madness.
Oh my goodness.
どうなってるこれどっから出てきたあのレイスとバルキリーは一体どこからね
I genuinely thought that C9 had
どっから出てきたで NRG が勝ったの
Playing very carefully and patient again. I mean, they were stuck in that trailer, and I thought they were in the worst position, but for somehow they made the best out of the situation, and they ended up taking first.
Yeah, they were really smart for just avoiding taking fights too early. Like when there are 6 teams left, they don't need to engage. Like if you want to get some KP, it can come later. As we can see, 10 kills for NRG as they finish in first place. 12 for Cloud9. Got to give them props as well. They were lighting up the kill feed as they often do. And third place with a win already in the last game. Not too shabby. They're going to be in a really good position.
Yeah, and Noble ended up in 8th place. So shout outs to Kate's team here. Very excited for her. But yeah, Cloud9 is on something else today. I mean, 12 kills.
Yeah. most of that was at that right before the final circle too.
I mean, we saw them go from 15 to 11.
No, I think when you ask most teams, when they do a Bloodhound scan and they see like 10 teams or something, they're like, oh god. But when Cloud9 see that, they're like KP everywhere, boys. They're just like chef's kiss. They're ready for it. But NRG, we've got to focus on them as they did come out the victors. They were patient. They didn't take the risk that, say, Cloud9 may have done being out more in the open despite the high ground. They just waited for the best time. And hey, there was a lot of damage being exchanged towards the end there. But NRG sweet with 6 kills in total will be the MVP for their team in this game. And that's a huge victory for them.
Yeah, I'm very happy to see that their Valk plays on Nathan are also working. So, very good team play, very great team comp. I mean, obviously, whatever they decided to do is working, and their communication is so tight that they're able to communicate, hey, wait, last minute, and now we push. So, very good to see that.
Kate Eager is going to rejoin us now and give us her opinions on. I mean, I think every game has been extremely explosive that we've seen so far, but what did you make of that last one?
Oh man, every game. Explosive is a great word, but I want to talk a little bit about the things that made it explosive, team comps, which sound a little bit boring, but the truth is they're obviously not. And I think the question I have for both of you, and let's start with you, James, here. To Bloodhound or to Crypto seems to be the question on every NA team's mind.
Yeah, but I think part of that has to be how comfortable you are. I want to say that TSM may have changed their composition for this team. For this round, I want to say. So maybe the Crypto is something which is going to have to come for them later when they've got more experience, when it doesn't count so much, because it didn't go so well for them in the previous teams. But I think it's down to the comfort of the individuals involved. So we've seen more Crypto in Europe, we've seen more Bloodhound in North America, but we saw Bloodhound used to great effect in this game.
You are absolutely not wrong. Stella, give it to me.
I think there are benefits to both. I think that Bloodhound is very great at giving detail on the other teams immediately. Like, you got that immediate gratification with Bloodhound, but with Crypto, you can get more detailed information. Like, oh, this team is resting, this team is doing this team is moving from the top floor to the second floor, stuff like that. So it really just depends on how you want to play, how much information you want, how much you want to play off that, or if you just want to rush into a team, kind of like what Cloud9 is doing. I mean, off their Bloodhound stands, they're immediately running into fight and they're winning those. So I guess it just depends on your confidence level, it depends on how you want to play. So you can't really go wrong with either.
You cannot indeed. Well, now is my favorite time to ask this other favorite question. We are at the halfway mark. Match 6 is what we go to here for both NA, EMEA, and all of our regions. So the question remains, we've already seen some teams make some switches. We've heard some scrims earlier this week that saw some different comps being tested out, some that have made their way to this lobby, some that have not. So my question to you both is, are we looking at some team comp changes as we take a look at these highlights? Stella, I'm going to go back to you here. Who do you expect to see, and is TSM changing their tune here coming into game number 4?
I think we've already seen some changes made, and I think it's an attempt to see what will work best for them. I mean, this is the second weekend. This is them facing up against other teams that we haven't seen them play against before. So I think that whatever they do here, maybe they will change for next weekend as well. I mean, you never know until you try, right? So I don't know. I feel like their comps are working. Really, Apex is about gunplay though at its finest. So character abilities are always secondary, but I feel like Crypto is just showing how important his drone knowledge is, especially with the fast reses, especially with the quick map scans as well. That's extremely valuable, and I think people are remembering how great Crypto is for that.
So I can see we still see the. We still see the Crypto there for TSM, but I think basically the luxury of different team compositions is fantastic. That so many different things are viable, but what's important is that these different team compositions have different playstyles, of course, and I think ultimately it's about just committing to that. I think if you're going to try something different, if you second guess yourself and cancel it halfway through, then it's kind of like results orientation, and maybe you only had one foot in the water in the first place. So I think it probably makes sense to fully commit for the day, and hey, if things go wrong, then you can look at it in post, you can review it, see where if there were mistakes and things weren't comfortable for you, or if it's just not the right composition. But I think you need to create that data in the first place and commit to the whole day.
Well, my hope is that coming up here, well, maybe not this week, maybe next week, we'll see that one team comp change that's different than all the others that changes the meta completely. I cannot wait for that. We'll see what happens. But let's take a look at what has happened with our overall leaderboards. Find out which teams are up, which teams are down, and which teams could be taking it all around. Looks like NRG, Cloud9, and then Charlotte Phoenix down there, TSM number 4. James, talk me through what we're seeing here. Benchwarmers up 12 places.
Yeah, it's amazing what a good position will do for you. That's a great hop up the table. Again, always keeping an eye on TSM, and the fact that they're 4th place, despite that, you could call that game rough. Again, that 6 KP will be important for them in that game, but even though they haven't had the greatest of placements overall, and we look at some other teams, of course, like NRG almost double the points, for example, they're still very much in keeping with the top teams, in the sense that if they can get a victory in these next 3 games, then they will shoot up even more. So that's always important to look at. Yeah, I think that's my main takeaway. Another eye on Ghost Gaming, though. They're having a quiet start. Again, I had them as a sleeper team. They're currently in 17th place, but there is still opportunity, as Benchwarmers going up 12 places will show you.
Absolutely. Stella, are we sleeping on any of these teams at this point? Feels like one of the best parts about BR is that you can pop off and have a great couple of games and find yourself in contention for those top spots.
I mean, I think Renegades have been doing very well quietly as well. I mean, in the first game, they absolutely popped off, taking kill leader about halfway through the match. So I feel like they're crawling up there. And yeah, I mean, TSM, I feel like they popped off last weekend. And this one, they're kind of feeling out the waters with this with the other teams now in the different groups. So this is game 3. I mean, we have 3 other games for them to get back into the groove. So I'm excited. I mean, I don't know. I think all these teams have finally learned what each other plays and how they play. So I fully expect the next game to be very action-packed and aggressive. So.
Oh, that's the kind of gameplay we are looking for. Well, something else I know everyone is looking for is your take. So go ahead and follow us. Take up those social tweets and find us on Twitter at PlayApex Esports, and then on YouTube at PlayApex Esports, and then on the Twitch at PlayApex. Remember, we want to hear what mains you're building, what Lobas, what Gibraltar. We want to know who you're playing. We want to know who you want your pros to play. We want to know who your pro favorites are. We want to know it all. So make sure to follow us on Twitter and use the hashtag ALGS. You can tweet at us and we'll see about talking to you a little bit more about that coming up here soon. So with that,
I've got one thing to add, Kate. I've got one thing to add.
Bring it, please.
Any pro plays Rampart 5 gifted.
No.
これなんかピアスみたいな。
That is the James we know and love. I'm here for this. I'm here for all of it, and we will be here for all of it right after this.
ソエちゃんみたいな髪型って流行ってんかな今。今の流行りなんかみんな刈り上げてさ、シュッてやってね。流行りなんかな海外の。NA とかわかんない。あの方がどこにお住まいなのかわかんないけど。NRG の人はこう仲間の盾になってずっと隠れてたんだねえそうそうなんかさそこが面白いよねなんかさバトル終わってエリアの運とかアイテムの運とかあってみたいな感じに言われたりするけどさやっぱ強いチームは勝ち上がるもんねうんやっぱ面白いね。でーん。でんでんでんでん。もう。今のところでの上位10チームってことだよね多分ねティンミーちゃんいるしティンミーちゃんあれ影姉さんヤッホーでんでんでんでんでん強いチームはだいたいいいランドマークを取ってるからなるほど物資が良くて安定するっていうのもあるんかなんかランドマークを決めるための戦いがあんだっけ違うっけでんでんでんでんでんやばこうはしていられないトイレに行っとこう
mental health and wellness is so important in the world of gaming.
For me, mental health is the most underrated thing.
It's important to take a break from that competition to reset yourself.
We're all kind of like an extended family. We have to look at each other like that could be my brother or my sister.
I promote and practice positive mental health.
練習試合みたいなんだって。のんたこえさ。怖い人に逆らえないじゃん。確かに怖い人と権力持ってる人に逆らえないよね。発言の強い人が強いよね。そういうルールになっちゃうとね。なんで俺がここ取ってんのにあんたたちが来るんですかってさ、ね、人気の人とかがそう言ったらね、すいませんってなっちゃうね。顔が怖かったらね、あそこのチームね、なんか筋肉ムキムキだったりしたらね、ムキムキで後でどうなるか分かってんだろうねとか言われたらねすいませんって端っこ行くしかなくなっちゃうよね。トイレ行ってこよう。トイレ行ってきます。
It's halftime here in NA, and Energy is making waves. Not only did they land themselves in second place twice for the first two games, but they take the third game. Energy is a completely different look, looking at their performance in comparison from last week where they ended up in 12th place.
55 points after 3 games, Vicky. Absolutely phenomenal start here for Energy. You really couldn't ask for more. I know the people in the chat are getting hyped. I saw all those Energy emotes coming through. Keep the hype coming.
Yeah, absolutely, guys. They need your energy, or maybe they don't, because they said it before on social media, and they'll say it again probably here. They were happy with their performance, and it really shows with the way that they were grinding in the past week, bringing together a completely different show, prioritizing their rotations, and I think that has been the key here for Energy. And of course, I need to highlight Sweet has been on a different level all day today. I don't know what he had for breakfast, but I need to know, because I need to be able to get my games and clutch out the games in the same way that Sweet has been for Energy today.
He's eating noobs for breakfast. That's what he's doing. He's going through here and just dominating in this lobby. But you know what? Game number 2 is huge for them too, because you said, or we heard them in the comms. Hey, we're playing for placement. Guess what? They placed second. They picked up kills along the way. All those points really matter here. Another team that I'm looking out for, C9. Wow, they're a fun team to watch.
Yeah, absolutely. I love hearing their comms too, hearing how intense it's been. I mean, to be fair, every single team that we've kind of tuned into has had intense comms, but I want to highlight the way that they were able to really keep their heads straight together while also maintaining a pretty superior positioning. And we talk about positioning here. Energy, not only did they manage to get the scan already, wasting no time with Nathan on the back line, but there are split up a little bit so that way they could cover some more space when it comes to getting this loot.
To be fair, if you know, in the chat. Come on, to be fair. So I'm looking at TSM2, and I'm wondering if they are going to switch up their composition. Maybe they're going to bust out the Caustic as well as the Valkyrie on top of Hell there. As we take a look at that zone, I'm feeling Geyser. It's definitely hard pulling over towards that side. Could potentially pull over towards the south side of that choke too. So we'll see what teams like to play the choke, which teams are going to go over towards Big Mod, and who's going to get inside Geyser.
It's going to be chaotic here. I'm just thinking right now with a lot of the squads that we're seeing currently within that next circle, as you can see, Geyser is going to get heated real quick. You can see Fragment too, with a lot of these squads having to rotate from the northern part of the map, Tom. You have to assume here that choke point closer to Geyser by the overlook area is going to be extremely contested, especially with that new area that you could take kind of like that back road to flank, but when you go into the tunnel next to Geyser.
Look at the purple armor for Sweet. They're going to try to loot as fast as possible. They have been having some good rotations, double rotations, portals when you absolutely need them. Nathan with the redeploy when you need that as well. And they're also going to be picking up some kills along the way. Playing Edge, having a phenomenal day so far. No repeat winners yet today. Charlotte Phoenix with game number 1, C9 game number 2, Energy with the game 3 win.
And it's kind of been the theme here too, with a lot of these teams now just trying to figure out a way to maintain that consistency. Energy really being the only team being able to get second twice. May not be first, but they still secured that win. And you can see here Energy as they make their rotations over to the train tracks. They see some action happening in the direction of Harvester.
Yeah, Harvester's not really a spot you expect an early fight to go and take place, so we'll see exactly how they want to go and approach this one. But it is a better landing spot now that they've added that beacon in a couple of updates ago, so it's nice to see some love being thrown over towards that side of the map. It's another great POI as we take a look at that first redeploy coming out for Energy and ping's going down.
And this is also going to allow them to get a scan on the ground to make sure that wherever they're rotating, it's safe, and they can note where some of these squads are currently positioned, as they are going to make their rotation over to the next jump tower before catching another squad who've also been able to take that jump tower out of it.
It's so scary going up these instead of going for the Valkyrie redeploy. It's always risky if the charge rifle is scout. Anything could land throughout all these. If energy gets hit going up the roof, they're going to have to bounce down immediately. Looks like they're going to be safe for now as they approach that bottom area of Lava Siphon. Scan coming out, bubble scan. Or Renegades, they're going to be able to find out where zone number 2 is going to go. Meanwhile, I'm curious to see what the rotation for TSM is going to be as well, as we see Mercy, Presley, and the rest of that squad down below.
Yeah, also having all blue Evo shields. Renegades looking a little bit better than Energy, holding onto 2 purples, and of course it's only having 1 white onto Pop Out. But Energy, as they do make that safe rotation, they have to know that they don't really have the Evo shields to take these fights, and this is what I was worried about originally. Sweeping the only one with the purple Evo, this squad's already sending it forward.
Once you see gray armors, it doesn't matter who it is. They're going to go and push you throughout all of that. You can see multiple players at the door. Energy worried about the armor situation. They haven't even landed damage yet this game, and they're going to bounce out.
Yeah, they're getting out of the situation. I don't blame them one bit. They don't have the Valkyrie redeploy either. We just saw them use it at the very beginning when they were passing Harvester. And it's nice to note here with a crypto drone actually catching somebody in our little cam here. It's nice to see how a lot of these different compositions have provided its own benefits towards these teams and their own playstyle. And Energy, they're prioritizing positioning here.
In the bottom right, you can see TSM. They're sitting currently in 4th place with 27 points overall. Best placement for them. 3rd place in game number 1. They pick up some decent amount of kills along the way, fragging out with 17 kills overall. And they look like they're going to go set up over towards Geyser. Like we anticipated, a lot of teams are going to heavily favor that side of the map based on what they're seeing from the first scan.
That's why this is so important to make these rotations with Energy, even though they're a little lackluster in terms of their shield. They want to make sure that they're not the ones getting circle cut, especially when it comes to this area right here, Tom, because you're kind of forced to traverse through that open ground when it comes to trying to secure one of these buildings down below.
They're still just poking around trying to figure out how they're going to go and approach the situation again without the Valkyrie redeploy. Still a couple percentage on that one. Not many options. Fortunately for them, they're not forced into any type of situation that they don't have to be. Meanwhile, back on board with TSM, seeing where they're setting up, again, inside Geyser. They didn't change compositions as we were anticipating, but when they're down about 30 points overall, you think something has to happen for TSM. Right now, you can see they're in a great spot. The only problem with these Geyser zones, Vicky, you don't pick up a lot of kills from these spots. And you can see not a lot of ammo here for Snipe Down, even though he has a great setup.
And you know that a lot of teams want to secure these buildings. Since we've been seeing a lot of the caustics, these caustic compositions are really going to shine within the Geyser circle. So when I'm looking at TSM, I'm a little worried, Tom, because not only are they limited on ammo and equipment because they're going to stay there for the end game, but I'm looking at how a lot of these other squads are going to try to funnel them out there with the Nox gas.
These pro players are so well balanced in terms of knowing how to play these zones. This is another one of those priority positions that can be locked down. That's Benchwarmer sitting in 5th place, 17 points. That just goes to show how top heavy this lobby currently is. There's a big fall off between 4th and 5th. Again, TSM in 4th with 27. Benchwarmers, 17 points overall. Placed 2nd in the previous game with 5 kills. And still locking down a great spot. We'll see how long they can actually hold this again. Having ammo is going to be the big problem, but big fight happening actually. Bowser is going to take down Senpai in your kill feed.
Huge here. Just trying to see what's going on over there with Benchwarmers holding onto this corner, and we have seen some circles end up exactly where Benchwarmers is currently positioned, which is why they want to stay here before realizing where that next circle is going to be, because unlike these cryptos, Tom, as Valkyrie, you overextend when you want to get a beacon, when you want to make sure what the next circle is, and that's why we see teams like Energy prioritize that as the first thing they do when they land.
There goes Era. That was the fight that we were talking about. Stunning Tech and Bowser. Bowser with the initial knock. Looks like Rez has happened coming out over towards the side. Now that player is crouching around the corner still, so he's still down. That's the Gibraltar. 2 players stuck inside of this train track. Senpai is down. Another player fairly weak. That's 2 knocks coming in from Bowser.
Bowser's popping off. He was up there in the front lines by himself. He manages to dip away with the shield battery, but with the bloodhound scan, it's nice to know that there's another squad right on the other side of where Bowser's pressuring and trying to pinch this squad in the train.
Had an opportunity to team with Bowser and Six prior before they picked up Nicewig, who was a great pickup, and they ended up winning the ALGS. Bowser is just an absolute slayer. Now it's up to Casellos defend himself off in this 3v1. I just don't see it happening.
The fact that he was hiding behind the knockdown shield and manages to throw out the Arc Star, but it was one Valk and an Arc Star and a Dream, and I'm not too sure if a Dream is gonna be enough here with Bowser being able to take out your entire squad. Now the follow from Tag Candy, they're gonna finally finish that out, and I'm surprised here as Castelos lived for quite some time, and now Noble finding the opportunity, they're moving in.
I think the big thing is they understood there's a third-party opportunity. If they end up going in there lackadaisical, one player gets knocked, next thing you know, Noble's pushing in on that, and Kate's gonna smile because that means her predictions are gonna be right. The energy, they were waiting for that Valkyrie redeploy. They are just gonna get out of here. It is too hot. There's too many layers of teams.
They're playing Ring Around the Rosy with their rotations, and they're going right back where they came. And they should too, with the amount of pressure that these squads are laying down onto energy. They kind of got booted out of that position, and they don't want to risk staying there longer, especially since they still couldn't find any better Evo shields to work with.
I'm curious what they're thinking. Let's hop on board with the team sitting in first place. It's Energy.
Wish our teach shields.
そのレプリケーターもさ、普通に今はあるけど、
Oh, and it's right
right
there.
Oh my god.
And a purple light.
Oh.
As long as I got it like that, everyone gets one side. Everyone gets one side. I got the other side.
There's a purple. Oh, purple bolt. Oh my god. We can craft bolt.
確かにこのチームは落ち着いてるね。戦闘してないからっていうのもあんかな。
Wait, I need to get that thing.
Bro, not even trolling. It's level 2 gas. We could literally craft this entire time and walk in late here. And just get max loot.
I have one med kit, 4 syringes.
I'm only gonna have a med kit after this crafter.
I think we start going now.
Yeah, good.
いろんなチームの色があって面白いね。
But I'm juiced though.
I need to craft a med kit. Hold on.
I'll look for white meds in here. Yeah.
I got some.
Park an Eva on your way out. On my way.
Where are we going?
We're just gonna try to like walk in late underneath this.
Go.
こっからエリアいいとこ取るの大変そうじゃない？こんなエリアがいっぱい。
Everybody gets aside. You heard what they had to say. Now Bowser is continuing where he stayed, and he's just gonna continue to lay down the hurt. And Sung's gonna be the first one to get knocked on Absolute Monarchy. Tech coming through with the bait and switch. Batteries being popped on both sides by Sunny and Bowser. A nice scan, perfectly executed team fight happening right now for Era.
Immediately seeing all the chaos go down right now. Era winning this team fight, being able to replenish those shields is so important, and they've noted already there's a squad right behind them, and they need to be wary here as that squad notes that there's been some downs already coming out with Era having to heal up.
Unfortunately, they don't get that knock and finish. Big Flame coming around the corner. It's Joey Blackout with the EVA 8. Bowser and Sunny, now it's up to them. Mastiff in hand, Bubble being dropped as well. 2 more teams in the vicinity. It's Noble and it's Knights trying to shut down Era.
Not the first time we see a lot of this chaos happen in Ramparts. Meanwhile, Knights are wasting no time to move into the dome. Limited ammo on the PK, but you won't really need to worry about that as you're forced to back off. Pop the Phoenix. They do get 2 downs here. And Knights, they're going to come out on top with that third party coming in at the perfect time.
We love to see it. Knights have been playing pretty disciplined so far, and they get rewarded with that one. Joey Blackout very close to getting that purple armor, 50 away from charging that Evo up. Bowser, he dipped out, and for the amount of aggression that we've seen and how well Era's played, they may not get any points here, just the kill points that they walked away with.
Crazy too, because you saw that he has over 1,000 damage and only 1 kill at that moment, and it just really shows how they've been holding onto this area for so long, being so aggressive and holding back Noble that you could see a little off to the side. But it's nice that take control over the ship, and they're also going to have a high ground over Noble.
You can see things going down on top of the loot right there. It is most likely going to continue to pull on over towards Geyser. The big problem for Bowser right now is Knights aren't going to leave the spot. They're going to continue to sit on top of those boxes until those time out, and they have to worry about Noble in front of them too, which is going to keep them put.
Be difficult to worry about when you take a look at the next circle that's going to be pulling soon. Again, you don't want to overextend. You want to keep yourself open, and there's a care package that's going to be uncontested in front of TSM before Smackdown. Alright, Snapple sees the opportunity, maybe just taking a peek in case it's a bait, and it's so important here to note that depending on what's in that care package, TSM are going to be pretty comfy as they've been here the entire game.
Usually you drop one of your guns, but they're going to go for the bubble here. It's a mobile respawn and could be the worst drop I've ever seen.
It was, actually. I think that was the worst drop I've seen in a really long time. Quite unfortunate there, but at least you were able to get something out of it if you wanted that mobile respawn. They are going to be able to hold on to this building, and it's nice to know that there was another squad that was sniping at them when they were trying to get that care package.
Russ is like, dude, that wasn't even worth my bubble. Back on board with Lazarus. They've been getting eliminated fairly early over here as we do get that zone pull. It's the very back of Geyser, as we were predicting. Benchwarmers loving that situation that they're in over towards the pills. Meanwhile, Lazarus not liking what they're seeing. It's a flank over towards the corner. It's Team Liquid and Nocturnal flying in.
Wow, that pressure coming in from the bombardment too, just trying to push in from the zip line. Super risky there, but an even better chance when you get Dank down and Lazarus are forced to hang out into this building without their caustic.
No doubt about it. Tough situation to be in. Team Liquid is just adding the pressure left, right, instead of double gold armors, purple on flanker, plenty of batteries as well. Scan coming up in about 7 seconds. Great push over there, but the problem is, with 50 seconds left in zone number 3 approaching, this is going to start to tick. So you're going to have to figure out how you're going to approach the situation. Most likely, you see that building closest to the edge of the zone. They're going to have to get on that building and play the outside.
I'm wondering if that bump from Lazarus managed to get away, because that was just absolutely chaotic. Team Liquid were able to get that Gibby inside the building, but to redeploy coming in at the perfect moment. Not sure if Team Liquid was able to secure that, but they were able to secure that 2 extra KP.
Here comes zone closing, which means everybody that was thinking about fighting is going to start fighting. Renegades is going to get the better of them and take them down right now. Vaxon with some great shots, the heal coming through as well. Very nicely done. 2 teams immediately just dropped like flies as we have 16 squads left. Expect a lot more to die.
And we see 2 already right now, Tom, outside of the circle. Ghost Gaming trying to circle, keep that squad over to the side, but they have to keep moving soon because round 3, it's closing in.
It is, and you have your EMP hand, but you don't really know how you're 6. He has a nice little corner to stay alive for a little bit, but we know how many teams push out of this lava siphon side.
This is so intense right now. You can see how so many squads are on that southern part of the circle as it closes in, and it's Team Energy who are living off the lands now with 2 purples, 1 blue, and they're getting pressured out of the skies as they go in for this risky redeploy.
So there's some viable spots that are available right now, but I don't think Energy's is able to realize that because they don't have the luxury of the player outlines like we do. We've been able to see what all the teams are going to be able to do. But if you want to play in the very back of the building that is in this next zone, that is totally viable. Another spot is where the respawn beacon is. You're going to see teams set up there as well.
CLT saw where Energy was landing and said, I want no business with this. They gave that spot over to Energy rent-free, and they're completely okay with that as they take an off angle.
Ambino's hoping that there's something better than just a purple armor and a mobile respawn beacon in there. Meanwhile, Charlotte Phoenix, the winners from game number 1, they're on the high ground over here, but for how long? Cody taking so much damage, he's gonna have to go and drop. Bubble not being used by Stink, so they should be okay for now, but look at another team over towards the right coexisting. C9 making their play over towards the back of the building like we were talking about. They're gonna be the team that plays that respawn area.
And they're going to be able to have enough space to at least breathe, try to figure out what's going on here with so much action happening. But with the circle getting pulled away from these buildings, this is where I'm expecting a lot of these squads to whittle down already. A knock coming in for Ghost. The dome has gone down and you have no protection in the CLT. The squad that looked to be in 3rd place has now gone down.
Energy scratching and clawing for every type of KP and placement that they could get, just like they did in game number 2. This time they have their full squad, though. The shots are there, and you want Rocker on your team.
Absolutely, especially seeing a Gibby on the high ground, holding a G7 and the arm shield. I mean, keep pressuring out everyone who's right below you. It's Christmas. It must have come early. We're skipping Halloween and Thanksgiving, and they could currently see what a lot of the action's happening right below them before jumping down and taking some of this loot.
Getting some more loot, getting some more ammo, picking up some more cape throughout all that is absolutely huge. Shoe bubble still there for Rocker if he needs it. No gold backpack though, as Nathan is going to get back in this one, but let's see if they get pressure.
Again, this is game number 4. We are going down to the wire here. Running out of time too with a lot of these squads now trying to figure out how many points they need, and Energy is one of those squads that are holding on to that first place. They're alive and they have some KP, and it seems to be that Rocker's in trouble.
Rocker's definitely in trouble. He needs to hit a battery in ASAP. does just go for the armor swap instead. Random portal is going to be placed, but it's not random. It's calculated, and it's going to be outside of the building where TSM is inside.
Maybe not going according to plan here with the squad having them in their line of sight. Luckily, they could utilize the bottom part of this building to actually have some cover, but you currently see Rocker. He's got to move soon.
Big thing is Bubble's back up. Defensive bombardment comes up in about 10 seconds as well. If they can survive Bubble and toss that down, that may buy them enough time to survive.
I'm just looking right here. The way that Sweet is just trying to help rotate the rest of Energy is so intense. This is all a make it or break it with Team Liquid now having the dome, tossing the Octane jump pad in the direction of the other dome, ricocheting off of it, saying, all right, just take one of these, and now dipping out of the situation. They don't have the jump pad, though, that they could utilize, and Team Liquid are cleaning up from a lot of these squads that are forced to rotate outside of the circle.
The shots from NRG just so crisp overall, but it's going to be Rocker to go down for a sweet second. Nathan, the last player alive, he gets some help from the outside, but it is hot out here, and there is so many different missiles landing all over the place. NRG out in 6th place. Liquid's still alive. C9 should be alive in the back as well. And Nocturnal, do whatever he can to avoid these grenades.
I also saw TSM how just being able to clean up, help out Energy for 2 seconds before Energy had gone down. They get to see another day. But now Team Liquid holding onto this back angle, getting a crack is so important here because they want to make sure that they can maintain this positioning without revealing too much with TSM being on the other side.
Ooh, these angles are just so crispy right now from Nocturnal. Running past all these death boxes because he understands that he wants to add the pressure onto TSM, who pushed into bench warmer's spot. Bubble does go down for reps. He's fairly weak. No batteries, though, so this is a tough situation for TSM.
Oh, yeah, he's going to be out of commission for a while, too. Oh, he has the Phoenix kit, though. We take that back. All right, just for about 9 seconds, and then he's back into the spray. Snipe down. Even though he's healing up, may not want to heal up fully with the shield with the EMP coming out, but it's actually House EMP who helps secure that, and Snipe down with a follow-up. What better way to clean things up for TSM than a follow-up from an EMP, and that's exactly why we're seeing this composition change coming out from this team.
Well, if Reps needs batteries, he's going to find them. There was 3 on the ground right there, multiple death boxes as well. Great job from TSM, pushing from the inside the building into the priority spot where bench warmers are. Now we have a 3-on-3-on-3 situation.
TSM now have been able to take control over the side. This is something I was noting before where circles have ended here so many times in the past, and TSM were in the perfect position to be able to get here as quickly as possible. We've noted that they were inside that building right behind them for the entirety of the game, and now C9 taking this roof. They have the pristine positioning in comparison to TSM.
One of the most classic end zones in all of Apex over towards the back building in Geyser. C9 on the roof, Premier down below him as well. And TSM on the outskirts looking in. We'll see exactly where this zone pulls. Typically, it goes to right outside the door where Premier is.
Funny seeing all those medkits in front of Hal. If you want to hide your crypto, just toss a bunch of loot in front of them. Maybe nobody would notice at the same time. But they're going to hold this position, and they're going to see what's happening here. Taking a look at the fact that you have C9 right there on the high ground. You have another squad right below you, and they don't want to be the ones to overextend because then they'll be on the open ground, and they don't want to give up this position.
We'll see how fast Hal can get his EMP back up. Snipe down. Most likely won't need that Valkyrie redeploy. The big thing is what is C9 going to do with Premier directly below? How are they going to avoid that pressure and fight when that time comes?
Oh, the mobile respawn beacon? That's some extra cover if I say so myself here. And they are just going to hold this crate. There's no reason for either of these squads to try to overextend. They're just going to wait for the circle to close in to force out these fights.
Exactly. Right now, what they're trying to do is get armor checks. They're also trying to just show presence back and forth. Main thing is don't take a lot of damage. Don't take unnecessary damage. Especially, don't force your bubble out. You're going to need your bubble here when this zone closes. Closes in about 10 seconds. Not only that, 1 minute and 30 seconds for that zone to absolutely close. Hambino inside with the bow check bow.
Something that I'm worried about here, and just thinking crucially with TSM having Hal on the crypto, that EMP is going to be so important to prevent some of those bubbles from coming out at the time that they want that bubble to come down. Now the circle closing in, and this is the opportunity for those 2 squads in the building to jump down.
Exactly, but you have to slow play this one. The zone just creeps up on you. Snipe down, taking a little head glitch right there. This is what we were talking about at the end of EMEA when you want to go and take position. Not just position where your team is. Individual position means just as much. Don't stay out in the open. Use all of the cover in your map to your advantage. Big nade coming in from Zach Mazer. But look at the little things that TSM is doing. Laying down these mobile respawn beacons. Having that bubble used is absolutely huge. TSM wants that back.
It's a party. Basically egging them on. You know, if you have anybody to res right here, just kind of give us some points. Or we could just use it as some extra cover by the crates. Great way here, but they're getting bombarded with these grenades. Currently, Reps and Hal are low, and Hal goes down. The arch giving bombardment to top it all off.
The pressure from C9 also. Premier is helping from inside the building as well. They are not allowing TSM to live much longer. A portal was placed as well. Snipe down gets knocked again over towards the side. We know that Reps is already down. I believe Hal is the last one. There's a little bounce pad, possibly grief him. Zach trying to make his way around the corner. That was, I believe, another portal coming in from Premier as well. That's TSM going out in third place. C9 has the advantage. They know all members of Premier have to come out of this door.
I love the positioning from Zach. He utilized those crates for cover, and now he's able to move right in, not missing a single shot with the Eva A. He gets them down, and C9 are your champions for game number 4.
What a game by C9. Holy cow, we get our repeat winner in NA today. It was game number 2 for C9. Game number 4 as well. The execution just so crisp. The prediction to get to the back over towards where the respawn is, and then finishing it off in style.
I mean, what a performance we are seeing from this team. Is it cloudy outside? I mean, I don't even know, because Cloud9, they are popping off. Now, we talk about how some of these teams hadn't been able to clutch out another win when they had previously won within our last 2 days that we've witnessed. Meanwhile, C9 over on the side of NA have done just that today, taking this game and taking a previous game for game number 2 when they were going absolutely crazy with 9 kills. This time, they take game number 4 with 8 kills in their pocket.
What's even wilder is NRG still keeping up in the points. Look at this. They actually get second points overall with 13 because they had 10 kills, Vicky.
They're so aggressive in their positioning. Honestly, the only thing that we're seeing from Energy just be a little lackluster about, and it's not even that crazy here, it's just those placements have just really not worked out in their favor. They've kind of gotten booted out in every single last position that they were trying to sit in, minus the one that we had seen them pop off and win.
You know when you're a special team, when you take something and that's absolutely nothing and make something out of it. I don't know if that's the right quote, but you get what I'm saying as we take a look at who was putting in work from C9. Last time, it was Naughty with the kills. This time, it's Zach with the damage, Albrili as well.
Just the way that C9 played that. I need to highlight again, the way that Zach at the very end for that last circle played the crates off to his right, purposely put himself out of the line of sight of the other squad that took control over the bottom part of the building and still pressured out TSM. That was absolute key. And then the follow-ups too. I could only imagine what the comms sounded like for C9 when they were barraging TSM with a bunch of arc stars.
In geyser zones, you don't really see a lot of kills. You don't see a lot of damage because of the amount of standoffs that are happening. It's all about positioning right there. That's why TSM got in there early. That's why C9 went over towards the backhand side. Let's take a look at that overall leaderboard. And 2 teams are really standing out. It's NRG and Cloud9.
I love to see it here. NRG still leading the score, 68 points. Cloud9 with that victory are trailing right behind them, 65 points. But look at the gap, Tom, between second place and third with TSM sitting at 39 points.
And TSM starting to heat up just a little bit. You can see the way that they were maneuvering throughout all that map. They are definitely poised for a win. TSM always known for a little bit of a slow start, even though they won their first game last weekend. I really feel like they're going to finish strong in game 5 and 6.
I'm excited to see how some of these squads are going to try to adjust towards that, because right now, C9, they're going to be going into that final game, or rather that next game of game 5, rather strong with some momentum on their side, but they're definitely feeling good about that one, because, you know, it may not be about all the damage that you do, but securing those kills are extremely important, especially when it comes to taking the dub.
2 more games remain. You will not want to miss them. We'll be right back.
Should we kill TSM?
No, focus Benchwarmers. Focus Benchwarmers. Everyone's focusing on Benchwarmers. I'm recharging.
あんま行くとね、中のチームに撃たれちゃうもんね。これでも潰す判断はナイスだったね。でも無傷のまんま出てきたのを一気に抑え込んで、あら、なんか大事なとこへ止まっちゃったわ。あらー、ねえ、いいとこに止まっちゃったね。ジブちゃんあんまり分かったもんな、中のチーム。でもさ、空爆をさ、2チームとも TSM を潰すために使ったよね、多分ね。あれはさすがに厳しいね。 やっぱり家の中から出なきゃいけないっていう状況だとさ、外側にいるチームはね広く展開するけど、お家の中のチームは3人同じところからさ一斉に出てくるわけだから、やっぱり外側で待ってるチームが一番強いんかな。お家の中から出るっていうところは厳しいんかね。あと2試合か。リリーン。14位か。あ、でもこのままだとチームリキッドは13位なんか。あれ、アンディがいるノーウェアゲーミングは今週は全然ダメで、1回2位があったけど総合18位。そっか、アンディダメやったか今日は。あんなにドームファイトうまいのに。マジか。でも18位か、18位か。ありがとうレイちゃんさん。18位か。アンディ。チーム、なんかこれかっこいいね。私もなんかちょっと真似して作ろうから。チーム東京ペペイムスメインレジェンドライフラインツイッターはあれ抜けてるアベレージダメージ300、キルレーティング 0.6 作るか。
Oh man, what a rough final circle. But I mean, C9 really played that so well. They really waited patiently. They had a really rough spot at first, I thought, but honestly, the way that they were able to pinpoint everyone coming out of the building and then TSM being stuck in the corner, they played that so well. Oh my god, and listening to their endgame chatter, I absolutely love it.
I love how over the top the most basic comms are. Like literally shrieking 3v3, 3v3. It's amazing. You can't mistake anything they say. But it's highly entertaining to watch, and when they position themselves to pounce on an opponent, like it is, I mean, they love that stuff, man. It's very engaging to watch, which is why, well, I guess it's part of why I picked them today. I think they can do it effectively, and they certainly did towards the end there. Some calm either 8 shots certainly helping out with the W there. Second for victory, and there's 2 more games to play, not even just one. We've seen before some people win like a game and then the last game, but they've got 2 more games to target. So now my question is, can we see a team win 3 games in one?
I don't know, maybe they're on top of their game. I'm so mad. I predicted, they were my prediction last weekend. Where were they last time? I'm so sad, but you know what? It just means that they're getting better and better, so I'm very happy for them. I also want to point out that NRG had 13 points over TSM, who ended up in 3rd place, and TSM at 12. So TSM needs to up their game. I think they can. I mean, like you said, we have 2 more games left, but that increase from 3rd place and 2nd on the leaderboard currently is a pretty significant gap. So they're going to need some really good games.
For sure they will, and it probably stings a little that it was Cloud9 who eliminated them towards the end, but they've had either they've gone deep enough and or they've got some kills which keeps them in contention. They're still climbing even though they haven't got a W for this week yet, so that can have a massive impact on their score. So we'll find out if they can convert in these last 2 games. Hopefully they will hope, I won't say hopefully, but they will hope that the rings will be kind to them based on their position on drop. And it is time to drop in game number 5.
Ooh, I wonder what we're gonna see this time. I mean, these circles have been intense, James. Like the last one, that one had barely any cover. I mean, we saw TSM dropping their mobile beacons trying to make extra cover for themselves.
I feel like last week to this week, we have been blessed with insane games every single time, like nail-biting, gripping games with the sheer amount of teams which are in a small ring, the particular teams who are engaging each other, and like there's just so much to enjoy here, and I expect that this will be the same as we land with Era Eternity. Blue Armor off drop is a great start, and Big Mord can be a busy area depending on how the rings look, because we've seen a lot of teams there earlier on today, but perhaps that'll be the case for now. I don't know, but there could be. I'm interested in what the gold weapons are that are in there at the moment. Are we going to see like a gold charge rifle or a gold longbow come out, something like that? And we can see it's another open area around that epicenter position. It was a slightly more to the right, I think, a few games ago, but it could end in a similar ring this time as well.
I honestly kind of want to see it end up in fragment. That would be a nice circle.
That would be a nice circle, yeah. That would be a spicy one. And every game has been pretty damn spicy so far. Can see Cloud9 just chilling again. They've got a lot of area to work with, so they'll be moving towards that green ring pretty kitted up sooner rather than later.
Yeah, and our last game's winners, Cloud9, seems like they're picking up some decent loot. Looks like they have their loadout almost instantly. Zach is still on white armor though, so once he gets blue, he might be okay for a fight.
Yeah, I'm very curious to see the overall performance of Cloud9 once this day has concluded, because I think they've got some pretty good potential for maybe the best performance we have seen from a team in these early weeks, bearing in mind that there are still 2 games to go. But NRG, they are the first team that we highlighted as ones to watch, and they've got more work to do as well. You can see Absolute Monarchy full blue now as they continue to dance around Big Mord.
Oh, they're hunting Era right now. They just moved into where Era is, so maybe we're just seeing early game fight. They know that the other team is inside. They're just not entirely sure where yet. So they do have a bloodhound, so maybe we might see the scan come out.
Yeah, it does feel very spacious in Big Mord, so I feel like the fights in the Big Mord position are pretty much like they're all but guaranteed. We see the black and white mode here for Text Candy, which will soon be running out. Very good for target selection, of course.
Yeah, they're just exchanging scans right now. Oh, and Era pulling out the first hits.
Yeah, the Rampage doing damage again, but he also gets cracked, which means he's got to slow down. Can't really capitalize on that damage just yet. Has to get his shields right as well. And I think we may see a bombardment here, and surely one of these teams has to fall back.
Yeah, if I'm Absolute Monarchy, I might back off because it seems like this team is just kind of, it seems like Era just knows what they want. Although it seems like the positions are switched now.
Yeah, but bearing in mind the other teams which are around, I don't know how much you want to be exposed on the outside, because that 3P could come at any time. And we know how useful snipers can be as well in this game, so isn't necessarily the most ideal situation. And look at a Mastiff is a nice combo. But we'll see how long they hang around here for, because again, more teams could be coming. And NRG have got a potential to get some very early KP indeed, as Rocker's going to get respawned. But that action is getting closer now on Big Mord. We've got double domes up, and one of these teams is surely going to be in a lot of trouble. Stumps is down, but Sung is still up now on the Bloodhound rather than the... I'm sure he was playing Caustic earlier.
Oh, I think he may have been. But yeah, looks like they take out Era. Unfortunate wipe there, but they did try their hardest. That POI is just really hard to hold because of all the different levels there.
Yeah, someone had to go, man. Sometimes it be like that, as they say.
Looks like Cloud9's just, they're doing fine. They're, like you mentioned earlier, they're just crafting everything they can, getting their backpacks. I mean, look at that. Now they're ready just to go through the map and stomp through.
Yeah, we've got a clip from Zach Mazer to look at as well.
Zones, because I feel like every team has a pretty good chance at winning that zone. I feel like there's a lot of action, there's a lot of different plays you can make with so many different buildings, so many different floors, so many different niche spots. I think it's really awesome to watch so many teams clash in the end game. While it may be hard for viewers and spectators to follow, I think it is also one of the best zones in the game, because every single team gets a pretty equal chance at having a great game, and that's an awesome idea in Battle Royale.
Very calm words from Zach Mesa. All things considered, when you listen to the comms, like that is certainly the calm before the storm.
I was gonna say that sounds nothing like what they sound like in the game, but you know what? It's good. It's good, right? You have to have a balance.
I love it. I absolutely love it. It is really, really awesome. And indeed, Sun was playing Caustic earlier, but he does switch between Caustic and Bloodhound, so we'll see if that favors Absolute Monarchy's current composition. You can see Noble and TSM getting close to each other, and there are a fair few teams around these buildings, so we may see some fast corners being turned as the battles get closer and closer.
Yeah, TSM looks to be in a bad position here, pinned between two different teams. I mean, they can hold this building, but it's not quite ideal since if they do peek at the top, they can get hit from two different areas. So it looks like Lazarus is focusing on the other team near them in Fragment. There are a lot of teams in Fragment. I feel like we're playing a pubs match right now.
Yeah, I love those threads where people complain like, "Why does everybody land Fragment?"
Because it's fun.
Yeah, I mean, if it's casual, like it's all about the hot drops, man. That's how you get better. You have to survive. You have to survive, and sometimes other people will impose their will on you and so on. But one of the most important ways to get better is to get those hot drops and find a way to make things work for you.
Absolutely. I mean, TSM drops into Fragment because they're pretty confident. They know that map, they know that area, and they know their skills. So now they're just keeping an eye out for all the different teams surrounding them. They know that there are two behind them and potentially one in front. They just have no idea where they are at right now. And Snipe Down Scan wouldn't be able to get anyone inside these buildings. So I think they're just waiting it out.
Yeah, that crypto suit on Imperial House looking pretty nice with a cherry red, but let's listen to their comms and see if they're just as sweet.
That's like the freest third for Mez and everything that we need.
バルキリーの祭りスキンの人結構いるよね。なんかさ、スキンから目立たないのにするとかいうさ、気持ちはあんまないんかな、みんな。なんか保護色にするとか、みんな結構白クマのジブちゃんとかさ、可愛いのにしてるけど。あんま目立たんスキンにしとこうみたいな、私みたいな考えの人はいないんかな。
No way they go all out and fight out there. You would think. You would. Might be energy sweet dreams in there.
ね、目立つよね。白とかキラキラ系は目立つよね。白、赤。
I'm gonna crypto. I'm pretty sure there's two teams zipline, so I'm gonna keep crypto ulting them. Yeah, there's two teams. I just did a fuck ton of damage.
Take my armor.
あ、まあそうだった。
I'm gonna try and charge rifle people up from the top.
ガリアなの。
I'm gonna pop their barrels. You should swap armors with him. Unless he has long range.
ヤッホー。ありがとう、Thank you.
Do you have long range type? Yes, I just picked up a charge rifle on the ground. Okay.
ありがとう。
Biggest armor should always go on Knocker. Unless he doesn't have it long range.
It's Noble in that picture-in-picture there, but we've got TSM absorbing that griefing life, just trolling with the crypto and getting the charge rifle out. I respect it, man. If you can't beat them, join them.
Okay, to be fair, he did some recon. Look, doing that map scan right here, the instant map scan, and he was able to do a crap ton of damage. I am paraphrasing, of course, but yeah, he was able to get his shield up to level 4, which is good. And I love hearing the strategy on how Valkyrie should get the higher shield since Snipe Down only just got the long distance weapon. So I love hearing that sort of stuff. I love hearing and getting into their mindset.
Yeah, Hal's always focused on that efficiency. Every edge you can get is very, very important, especially in a game like this. Looking at the map, you can see that most teams are in the zone, but one has got quite the journey in the very top there. Really slow rotation. Maybe they're on that horse and cart life. I'm not sure. No electricity or something, but they'll be on the way eventually. The NRG, it's an NRG actually. I don't know. Well, I guess they're not aware that there's like no one anywhere close to them, but They're
ただ
vibing.
めちゃ
They're
めち
vibing. They're
ゃ
taking their time.
なんかさ
Look,
私
you
さ
should
思っ
always
ただけ
assume
で
there's
もしかして
someone
この
near you, and
NRG
then
っていう
if
チー
there
ム
isn't,
は
then you're just
あん
pleasantly
まり
surprised,
早
right? I
めに
mean,
アンチに入っ
it
てく
is
る動き
interesting
じゃな
that
いんだ
Nathan
ね
is on
なんか
Valkyrie, and
さ
they
っきも
don't
アン
have
チ
any
外耐
immediate
久でさ
scan
レプリ
legends
ケーター一
to
生
know
懸
if
命
any teams
作
are
って
near
た
them.
し
I
ちょ
suppose
っとエ
Raid's
リアに入っ
passive
て
does
回
let
っ
you know
て
when
る
someone's
系
aiming
チ
at
ー
you,
ムじゃ
but
な
at
さ
that
そう
point it might be a
ね
little bit too late. So
ポ
it's
ッ
an
トとエ
interesting
リア
team
に入
strat.
っ
It
て
does
回
seem
っ
to be
てる
working
系
for
チ
them.
ー
I
ム
mean,
は
they
どちら
have
か
won
という
games,
と
so
TSM さ
I
んの
guess
方
we'll just
な
see
の
how
かも
this
し
one
れな
goes
い
for them.
ねねえねえねえ
Yeah, they are really playing the edge at the moment. Not going to bother having a look at the
Ooh.
supply bin before going for that ult really quickly. Get some
Guess
early
that's
intel,
scan.
but where do they land? Where are they going to head? They can see one team just below them. That's getting just a little bit touched. Not really much damage happening, so not too concerned. But there is a target trying to lead with the bullets and allow them to fly in, but they land unscathed. But the question is, can they settle on this bridge? There is definitely a team to fight, and they just may force them from their position.
Yeah, Rocker did take about half shield damage, but he did get his shields back, and they are looking healthy. So now they're holding out with C9 here. I don't know if they're going to fully contest here because this is a pretty long tunnel, and you don't want to be caught inside of it.
Yeah, this is a pretty big face-off, actually. NRG versus Cloud9. I don't think either team wants to take this too far, really, especially with 17 squads remaining. So we'll see what they choose to do. NRG just looking at the surrounds. We can see Era Eternity, CLX, and Monas have been the early casualties, the early baths here in game number 5. But we've got plenty of work to be done here. Legacy MX still in this one as well.
I think C9 is in a fight with someone right now, unless I saw something incorrectly. But yeah, it looks like NRG is just vibing. They're just hanging out. I mean, they're in the circle. They know where one team is. So looks like Cloud9 decided to rotate away instead of take this fight.
Yeah, we can see that this is a really important game for TSM. They do have an opportunity to catch up. If they can get a W with some KP, then they could be hot on the heels of those teams above them. But for now, there is a canyon between them and second or first place.
Yeah, this rotation is pretty nice though, because then they do get to look into fragment where most of the teams are, as you can see with this overhead view. Look at all these teams just holding out in their buildings.
Yeah, and Snipedown has not been able to evo his armor yet with that charge rifle, so he's got more trolling to do. But we've got some recon happening now with the crypto flying around. Got to be careful about where you leave it though, if you do leave it. But that is a hell of a lot of intel being collected. Really surveying the lay of the land. And it's something to do while you're chilling in your building as well. Just spot every little nook and cranny and rat who may be scurrying around. How many teams is that on the board there? I can't see it from this distance. I'm not sure if it says 10 teams.
10. I think that says 10.
I've never seen double figures on these boards before. 10 teams around you is not what you want to see.
No, especially since you know that none of those teams have gone down yet. I mean, you can listen to the fights, you can listen for gunfire, and there's nothing happening quite yet. Looks like Cloud9 is getting into a little bit of a skirmish outside of Fragment. We're not quite sure who they're fighting yet, but ooh! Stay Naughty's crispy wingman shots there. They are just scanning around. I think they're okay for now.
Yeah, they're good for now. I mean, there's so much space with where the ring is that I don't think anyone's going to be too pressured just yet. But as we can see, that ring will soon be on the move. 7 seconons away, and once that ring is closed, then the game really begins. And I say that with us losing 3 teams early, but again, some people are going to be these early casualties, especially the qualifying teams. They're just going to be at the mercy of the seasoned veterans. But as this ring starts to close, we start to head towards the meat and potatoes, the protein.
Yeah, that doesn't mean that the qualifier teams are bad by any means. This is just pro league where all the best players come to play, and it's a rough lobby. I mean, there are so many heavy hitters here.
Yeah. I mean, that's how you learn those. You get smashed by the best teams in the world.
Hello.
NRG, they like chilling in the trucks today. And they'll be doing that. But again, let's not forget, last time we observed them doing this, they just waited until it was time to increase their risk. We can see that Nathan's got 3 kills on the board already as well. And we're going to have a listen into NRG and see what they are discussing. Maybe it's recipes.
Yeah, that's impenetrable glass. Yeah, you cannot cheat through that. That will be good.
Yeah, but in front of us, that's what I'm saying. Like, we're gonna get shot from in front of us.
Is this truck in? Yeah, this truck is in. Yeah, we could just sit on the truck. And also, right here, solo Falcon underneath the bridge on red. Ready? Ready?
I see him.
3, 2, 1, now.
Nice.
Great. All right, C9 shooting L-Star above us.
3, 2,
That's
1
Mac flanking. But there's the issue is there's a team
ね
here. Or are they just shooting across up? I think they might just be shooting across.
Shooting down at someone.
Yeah.
What could C9? Are they still in up here?
Yeah, they will. I do think so. Ooh, maybe not actually.
上にいるんだ
That icicle.
上にいるの
Yeah,
が
I
それ
think
こ
we
そ
might have a chance to grief them if they try to jump and fight this. Yeah, this bridge is super playable. Like, we just walk in, play the bridge. We can jump out and play like the ridges out here if we have to. We'll make a play.
TSM はもうあそこ取ってんか
So this truck actually in?
I think so. All right, I'm gonna scout it, okay?
Yeah. Because if we don't have that.
They're zipping across!
Oh my god. I don't even.
Popping 2 cells.
Yeah.
Super safe in here, boys. Super.
Should we just get to you now or no?
Well, the truck is actually
多分
not
そうだよ
safe.
ねあの上の
I mean, can't we just?
Yeah, we could just. Well, I mean, we could potentially just play these ridges here.
Yeah, but they're up here though.
No, I think maybe we make the play for.
Yeah, like third partying the park. Like third partying it might be good.
Yeah, we just sit in there and then third party it.
And then backing if we have.
Oh my god.
Oh, there's a team
itching
there.
my nose.
Yeah, I'm gonna portal us to a spot if this is bad. I'll portal us maybe to where like that rat is at or
ねえ
something.
ねえね
Like something where
All right,
someone's
should we
baffled.
shift to you?
Someone's
Should we shift to you?
baffled.
I'm shifting
All
to
right,
you.
That's
team
it. That's
baffled.
it.
I'm shifting
coming
to
to
you.
you.
No. Still a team on red. These guys are gonna go into the park, I think. Wait, this team's taking park, I think. No, they landed across. That's not good, actually.
TSM
Remember,
の
C9 can see you
ところ
above
に飛
here.
んでったチームがいる
The fact they
Oh,
walk in
yeah.
and take that for free is
Wait,
fucking bad.
he's sitting on the icicle. Yeah.
Big fight in front of us. This is our third. I'm portaling already. I'm gonna
Okay, I'm watching our back.
I'm gonna portal in the park.
NRG need to get their escapes on quickly. That zone is closing, and again, there is a team above them as well, so limited in where they can go. But there's some KPs again. They're stealing some kills away as they take out Greek from CLT. Sweet trying to escape, just about getting there, but his teammates can help him out as well. So they've got some cover for now. Or have they? They're actually exposed to this team, but really patient shots here with that 30-30. And they'll try to use a bombardment for some cover, but it's too little too late. Nathan now alone trying to do what he can. He needs to do enough damage to make them heal up so he can get his team up at the same time. Arkstar's coming in his way as well, but we'll see if he's done enough damage to res one of his teammates. Gotta go for the dome man first.
Oh no!
Oh, here comes the first! Hiding behind the shield, that's not gonna quite work out for them. Renegade coming through, and Cloud9 with the ultimate grief, the 3P.
うわーここで潰されちゃった
Oh my
ね
goodness, that was an incredible push by Cloud9 there.
あっちゃだね
They knew that they were weak and went in. TSM, having moved from the center of their train station, now going
削られ
in
て戻っ
and
てき
trying
て
to
んの
fight here.
完全に見られてたん
They
だ
are
ね
bubbling and they just can't leave the zone. Those
Al's putting in
peacekeeper shots.
work. Gotta be careful though, because he's been shredded now. No more shields for him. Definitely some thirst to do. And we didn't even get a chance to talk about NRG's discussion about their position and what is in for the next ring. Can they use a truck for cover, or is the ring going to be in a way, etc.? That was really awesome. Going to measure. Quickly thirsting the rat we saw from Premier as well, eliminating them in 17th place, I believe. So that was pretty cool, but it just didn't have the ending that they wanted. And how about this for a position?
Look at them. The Knights just hanging out at the very edge of the circle, trying to survive with every little bit of health they have.
There is such little cover in this current ring. It is pretty open. I mean, there are some buildings here and there, and that's only going to get worse, but every nook and cranny, just every little crevice that can offer you some cover from bullets at the very least. Maybe not a bombardment though, but TSM not in a terrible position right now. Reps on the red armor, just goes fishing in the dome. Will they commit with the team though? This is a very awkward position for the players down below. And they'll fall back and try and get some shields up, but they may be harvested as well. Renegade's coming through now to get more work in. We're going to be losing some squads soon. Hal is dead, and Reps has been downed as well. That might be the end of TSM, and Cloud9 are coming through for more BM. There go Renegades.
Cloud9 just knows when to move in. Look at all of these perfectly timed rushes. I mean, They know one's down there by themselves, and they have all of this loot to themselves now.
Yeah, they've made all these players boxy like Minecraft characters, and that's going to give them all the tools they want as they are triple red now. Looking very crimson indeed. Ghost moving into a building, and that is not going their way at all. They got eliminated very quickly indeed. They got denied, they got rejected, they got palms to the face, they got escorted out, and so have more teams as well. Zach's been down. We'll see if he can be res by his teammates. Gold backpack will certainly help, but they got to get back in that ring ASAP. That is heavy damage to the HP there.
Yeah, it looks like they're going to get a heal off just perfectly in time for this last ring closure. James, I am on the edge of my seat. Cloud9 has been demolishing this lobby, just absolutely rolling. NRG and TSM are out, so now it's just Cloud9, Benchwarmers, S10-2, Unlucky, and Legacy MX left in this final circle. So that's 5 teams that are going to get pushed together, and there's no cover.
Yeah, and props to Legacy as well. They made it to top 5. This is looking like a potentially good result for them. I'm not sure what the KP is like, but Cloud9 are looking to harvest more organs from these players as they can smell the blood. Not many places to hide, and the grenades are here. The dome is forced out. Stay Naughty can pop a bat in the meantime. 5 squads left, and there's targets coming from all directions. Oh my god. Val coming out of nowhere and completely denied. Where are you going, Val?
I think that was the end of SMT there. Unfortunate there. But now Cloud9 can just keep playing these little bits of cover that they can find all these cars. And they have the beam with the L-Star. Oh, but Zach Mazer does go down. Cloud9 down to just 2. Stay Naughty trying to get these Eva shots off.
So patient with those shots as well, and he will be rewarded in kind. Abraleli and Stay Naughty still up, and oh my god, there's so many domes to ring. Abraleli now, the last man standing, the L-Star from point blank range, putting in work, but the ring will come into play, and Unlucky will take the W there. That is a pretty huge W for them.
Okay, that's the second time that Cloud9 has been caught in the circle or has lost first place because they pushed a little too far. But very good effort. I mean, I'm sure that their KP has outdone whatever placement they've gotten. I mean, placement 2 with that much KP, or 3, I'm sorry. I think that's incredibly well done. And congratulations to Unlucky for the first win in this one.
I think it's possible. I don't know for sure, obviously, but I think it's possible that Abraleli was just like, all right, I'm going to dive to the ring, but let me get as much KP as possible. All my teammates are dead, and this is where I get my points. And second place is where Cloud9 get with 15 kills. Unlucky stealing the W there with a whole 1 kill to make it to first place. Legacy MX, shoutouts to them again. Representing that Mexican flag, 6 kills and a solid 3rd place for them. That is a huge result for them in a lobby like this, but another outstanding performance from Cloud9.
Yeah, Cloud9, no one even got close to that amount of kills. 15 kills and 24 points. I mean, Unlucky did win, but because they only had 1 kill, their placement points put them at 13.
Yeah, no disrespect to the guys who won that, but the story has to be Cloud9. They were putting in work. We had targets. It was almost like they were at some kind of fairground, and just had all the different games, like Valkyries just coming out from nowhere, like rats just emerging from lava almost, and getting kills in all directions. And again, they love situations like that. They thrive in situations like that, and we can see here that 1 kill for the winners of Unlucky. So I guess Castelos will win by default, but again, no disrespect to the guys who won there. I mean, they stole a kill, so props for that, but Cloud9 wiped out 15 people in that game, which has to be the most kills we've seen in either region so far this season.
I think so. And I mean, yeah, ultimately this is a battle royale, survival of the fittest, so Unlucky did win that. Congratulations to them. Oh my goodness, just we've had so many good endgame fights. I'm so happy.
Kate Yeager, do you appreciate the patience of those Eva 8 shots in those domes?
It's so hard not to appreciate that, for sure. Well, and I will say that one of the things, speaking of zones that I told, it's always such an interesting thing because I feel like it takes so much experience and knowledge to really be able to predict or certainly find yourself in that exact positioning that allows you to play the late game regardless of where you drop. That's the X factor, right? So let me talk about these standout teams, NRG, Cloud9, the teams that we've been keeping an eye on throughout. What are we saying about their zone predictions, primarily where they have been and where they're going? And I'm curious to see what zones you're hoping for coming into number 6. Let's start with you, James.
Well, I mean, regardless of the zone predictions, Kate, NRG and TSM came about 9th, so zone predictions aren't enough is what I'm seeing from these teams. We got to see more than that from them, but zone predictions for next, I mean, I've got like more like zone requests than predictions. I quite like the zone we just saw because there was a few buildings to play with, but there were lots of like small objects. With multiple different levels, which means crazy action rather than slow, like I'm going to try and hide as much as possible. So any zone which is like similar to that, where it's mostly open, but there are some objects to hide behind, it's going to be good for me.
But minimal, right? Minimal. Stella, your thoughts?
Yeah. Bare minimum.
Yeah, I'm gonna say World's Edge has a lot of spots. Like, I mean, you can look at this. Look at NRG just positioned here between these weird-looking lumpy rocks. There are a lot of different places on World's Edge that you can definitely play. I mean, this last circle that we saw in the previous game is just really rough. I mean, we saw TSM getting guarded out because they just have no cover. The little bits of cover just isn't enough sometimes. So knowing positioning, being able to rotate quickly into POIs that you know are in circle is just so important to survivability in Apex.
Well, I want to bring up something else that we might be seeing in some of our highlights here, which is sort of some unconventional, maybe random weaponry. We're talking about TSM throwing multiple respawn beacons earlier in the matches. Premier GG's their late game bow check bow, gotta love that. Even Team Liquid throwing the jump pad towards their opponent's dome in match number 4. Talk to me a little bit about some of these grab bag strats. It's kind of entertainment, certainly. We've seen better and more impressive gameplay across the board, but Stella, that's also kind of one of the reasons we all watch esports, right? To see what kind of random stuff is coming down the pipe.
That pad on the downed opponents in the corner was the most BM thing I've seen, because depending on who downed those guys, do you even get like the KP for that? You just like send them into the zone. That's hilarious BM for me.
I believe if you're the last person to damage them and they do die to circle, then you do get the KP for that. So I think that was like a last-ditch effort strat, just in case he couldn't get the damage on them. Definitely adding insult to injury sort of move.
It is grief with a capital G.
Yeah, but in terms of the mobile respawn beacons, where we saw 3 of them being called down by TSM, I mean, they knew that they had nowhere to go. They were doing anything they could to try and find extra cover. And I mean, you know you're not going to be using those mobile beacons, so why not just throw them down and try to use them for extra cover? It's a very valid strategy, and unfortunately didn't work out for them, but I mean, it's always fun to see them try to pull that off.
Yeah, it's certainly not one we see every day, James.
No, well, not that many for sure. But if you've got one in the hole, then it definitely gives you some angles. But it was almost like a pilgrimage of respawn beacons in a line together with those green beams going into the sky. So that made it somewhat special. Almost wanted to light a candle here just to join them. So that is a very unique scenario to see so many. I feel like there were more beacons than people in an area coming down. So I didn't quite understand the math there, but it was fun to watch for sure.
Well, let's take a look at something else that's fun to watch. And of course, our leaderboards. See where our teams are headed, where they've been, and where we're going here in game number 6. Wow. That is a commanding lead there, James. A commanding lead for Cloud9.
It is. I want to see 100 points. I want to see triple digits. I want to see them break the overlay. That's what I want to see. And I think it's possible. So, I mean, Cloud9 have been consistent. They are having peak performance today. They're in their element. They've got the energy drinks. You know, they are ready. They're focused. And they've got one more time to do it.
I was going to say last week, Sentinels, we saw 92 points. Stella, your thoughts here?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know the trajectory that Cloud9 is on. I think they're going to go beyond 92. They may very well hit 100. And I think that might be the highest that we've seen so far if they do that. This has been Cloud9's day. I mean, TSM and NRG have been performing pretty well as well, but Cloud9, I mean, you saw them. It's like they're playing pubs or ranked. They're just going from team to team to team and just taking whatever they want. I mean, basically they see someone and they're like, oh, that's my loot box.
Free
ライ
KP.
トホームなんですよ
Everywhere.
ライトホーム
At one point, I felt like they were enjoying and
私
surrounded
は
by
ち
the
ょっと
death
さあれ
box
ないごめん今見れないよ俺で
So we'll
ディ
talk
スコ
about
ード
that, I'm
の
sure,
ビ
a
デオ
little bit
見
later.
る
But
とそ
something
の
else
デ
to
ィ
talk
スコ
about
ー
right
ドの
now
ビデオ
is
ここ
your
映っ
chance
ちゃう
to
から
enter the
さ
Lenovo Legion ALGS Pro League
今見れないの。
giveaway for a chance to win a free Lenovo Legion
え
gaming PC. Head on
ラ
over
イ
to
トアームと
twitter.com/Lenovo
ヘビーアモ
Legion
で
to learn a
切り替
little
えが
bit
でき
more.
るの
That is something that we'll be excited
ね
to
ク
see
ラウド9
happening
ス
a
ト
little
ロン
bit
グエ
later.
クステ
So
ン
hey
ショ
guys, thank you
ン
so much obviously for bringing us through here, bringing us through our game number 5. And as we look at game number 6 right
楽し
through
い
the
はずの
scope,
ゲームな
Stella,
の
let's
にみんな
start with you.
怒る
Final
そんなこ
thoughts
とないでし
before
ょ
we head into
全員
this
が全員
final
怒ってないでしょ
game-changing game.
怒ってる人もたまにはいるかもしれないけど
again, it's C9's day. I think we might see another. I really want to see them win because last game, we saw them get so close.
あれじゃない多分さ
KP,
興
but
奮
I
して
really
さ
want to
ほ
see
ら
them get that extra cherry on the
ロ
top
ロ
with the
ロ
win.
ロ
So
ロと
I'm
かさ
trying to get C9 to win. So I'm putting all my energy
あ
into
と一
that.
発あと一発とか
Yeah, for
エ
me,
キ
I
サ
want
イ
to
ト
see
して
100
ると
points. I want to see 100 points. Give me 100 points,
やっ
lads.
ぱり
Come
さ
on.
怒ってるように聞こえんじゃない
You heard it here first. Well, something else we're hearing is you on our social. We actually have some tweets we want to showcase to you right before we head off into that game. Here we go. TSM makes new team comp. Everyone, write that down. Write
多
that
分それでおわすごい叫んでるように聞こえんだよ
so
多
much.
分日本語わかんない
down. Sorry, but I love
海
seeing
外の
C9 grief
人が
TSM and
多分さ
LGS.
私
Okay,
が
so
さ
this is a common theme, not just with us on the desk here
ハッピ
and
ー
the
ちゃんがどうの
casters,
こうの
but
どうのこうの
my
とかさ言って
goodness.
たら
Oh
さ
no,
怒
interesting
っ
to
て
know
るように
ALGS
聞
that
こえる
both
かもしれない
NRG and C9, who are
エキサイト
utterly
してるだ
dominating
けだ
this
と思う
lobby, have shorter rotation characters in their team comps. Zach on Octane, Sweet on Wraith,
怒ってな
alongside
いその
Nathan's
人た
Bow.
ちは怒ってんや
What do you make of that, Adam? I like your hot take here. I like your hot take, Stella. What do you make of that?
I mean, again, like I've been saying, Octane is great for very quick
実際に怒っ
rotations,
てん
but
のかなる
Valkyrie
ほ
has
ど
also
ね
proven to be very useful, especially with her scan once you go into the air. But Valkyrie is very, very risky to use, especially with her ultimate late game. So Wraith, being able to get her teammates in and out of danger when they've been down or, you know, when they want to retreat, it has been really, really good. So, I mean, all of these legends are very good choices. And I'm so, so happy to see us move out of just Octane supremacy. As much as I love Octane, he is my main. Aside from Fuse, I'm very happy to see that there's more variety. So, I'm very, very happy about that.
I think the non-Valk characters are
あれ
more
こののんびり
calculated
さしてる
because
けど
I think that
お
Valk
トイ
can
レ
be
に
used
行
as
っ
a
といた方がいいんじゃ
crutch
ない私
for like
ま
those
たなん
late
か
rotations
CM
where
タイムみ
it's
たいなの
just
来る
mad
かな
risk
来ない
going
か
on.
な
Or people who just like, oh, but we could
今のうちに言って
Valcult.
お
What
こ
if we Valculted? We could Valcult. Shall we Valcult? And I feel like a Wraith, for example, can just put you in a stronger position over a smaller area. I mean, both things are viable, but I do like the shorter rotations because they're more calculated and you can creep on people. And of course, who doesn't
そ
like a
れ
good
は
kidnap
確かに
or a failed one?
オーバーワッチで一人怒り
It's
出す
all
と
gravy. It's
大
all
体
awesome.
負ける
Something
か
else that's
ら
awesome
ね
is you following us on Twitter. As you can see, we love to hear from you. We like to discuss what you've been
大
saying.
体負ける
Keep those tweets coming. Go ahead and follow us at Play Apex Esports or on YouTube.com/Play Apex Esports or of course Twitch.com/Play Apex. We're excited. We're here. And guess what, gang? It's NA, day 3 groups, and we're going into a game number 6 right after this.
面白い武器なんだオルです。ねえねえ、そういえばねねちゃんさ AKS が今日さオーバーウォッチのカスタムやってる時にさ、私はオーバーウォッチのゲームやったことないからわかんないんだって言ってた時のくだりさ、知ってる？面白かったの。なんかね AKS が大柄でしょみーさんオルです。おかえりありがとう。I watch YouTube ビデオタイタンフォール2AKS こうトラストミー主人公ヒーローそうなんだ。カーガンイズベリーグッドエンドスケアリーウェポン AKS ファッションじゃないから。違うベケラーがさ、なんかさ AKS が私は
Welcome back, beautiful legends. We are here with the final game of NA. I'm Vicky Kitty, and I'm joined with the wonderful T Squared, and we're gonna close out the rest of NA for you guys. Looking at the status right now, Tom, I mean, this is looking pretty interesting. C9 has built up the gap between themselves in first place, holding on to 89 points.
C9 Energy playing on their premiums right now. It's so fun to watch this type of high-level Apex, and I want to see what James wants to see. Someone break the graphic.
Yeah, this is actually insane. So look at the way that there's a gap between that third place spot and then TSM sitting in that third place spot with 43 points. You take a look at second place and you see what Energy's doing. They got 73 points, Tom. You take a look at C9 and Energy. What did these teams even eat? Because I don't even know right now. 89 points, 72 points. At first, I thought, Sentinels last week, they absolutely popped off, and they still popped off. But meanwhile, we come into week number 2, and these teams top it all off.
Gotta get some good meals and you gotta get that good lunch. They're probably chugging some monsters too to keep that energy going forward. But it's all about these top 3 teams right now. NRG, C9, TSM. TSM, if they drop around a 20-kill game, it's possible. We've seen them do it before. That's 32 points. That's more than enough for them to catch up. But they have not had their biggest performances today. And I'm looking forward to seeing who's going to come out on top. I'm also looking forward to seeing some diversity in zones here. We've got a Dome, Mama Fisher, Overlook Ending, Geyser, Prague West. Hopefully we get another one.
I see where our teams are going to be going here. Legacy MX, of course, a team coming in from Mexico. The only team actually coming in from Mexico. Having a little bit of a rough time here so far, but they are going to be landing over at Landside to be able to secure themselves some better loot. Because we noted before, this is the area where a lot of our squads have kind of fought through the choke point because a lot of these circles have ended up on this side of the map.
They're gonna have a replicator right there, so making sure that they're getting all those crafting materials. As we take a look at the zone, it's gonna be, a thermal zone. So you see that heavily favoring over towards the thermal side. But look how south that is over towards tree. This is a little bit unpredictable. Not quite sure exactly where this one will end. We'll see exactly what those teams on the south side decide that they want to prioritize. You can see Panders is fairly close to the Renegades team.
What's really funny here now, looking at where the circle is going to be pulling, Tom, is I'm looking at energy, and I'm looking to see that this squad, they want to make sure that they could secure that first place spot since they're right behind C9 in that second place. But I'm looking to see how quickly it is for Team Energy to already take that middle building over at Thermal. And that's going to be absolutely key there in holding that position, but you're risking it if you make sure that you don't have any sort of ammo, you don't have any sort of loot because you decide to sit there for the entire game.
That's not the pull that you want to see if you're C9. That's the opposite side of the map, the exact opposite side of the map. It doesn't get any further right there as they have to make their way from Climatizer. Look at the rotation though, already with 2 minutes on the clock. This is fast.
And wasting no time and being able to get that purple extended light mag is going to help out Goddess with the R301, the 3030 repeater as the secondary weapon. Again, this is a squad that hasn't really had the best time so far today, but do you blame them, Tom? I mean, looking at this lobby, we've had some killer teams come out and pop off, and that is why there is such a huge gap between third place and second place.
Yeah, Legacy sitting in 19th place overall, but like you said, it's been just brutal for the teams at the bottom because all of the points going on over towards the top. NRG C9 really soaking up a majority of them.
And C9 having no issue being able to get these 2 purple Evo shields on drop. They're going to be very happy with that. But it's like you mentioned, C9, they're completely on the other side of the map where the circle's going to be pulling.
And when we get that updated score, which we do, 89 points, as we saw on the leaderboard from C9. I misspoke. We need a bigger game from TSM. They would still be 2 points behind C9 if that was going to be the case. Or actually, they may not even be able to catch up. My math is horrible. I won't try to do math live on stream while I'm casting. How about that? As we take a look at what's going on with the guys that have to make their way across the map, they might as well just loot up as much as possible, right? As many batteries as you can, everything that you absolutely need. Make sure you get that purple bolt wherever the shotgun is in those crafting materials.
Yeah, you know, only better with words sometimes, of course. And look at this. Energy actually have already made their way over here, and they're crafting. It seems to be right now that Energy actually have this entire thermal to themselves, and they're happy to take it because they're going to be able to craft safely without getting contested. And it's safe to say here with their Evo shields that they're going to have no issue taking on some of these fights that they're seeing right now.
And they're going to have no issue getting a shotgun because he opened up that pill and there was 3 of them right there. Have your pick, whatever one that you absolutely want. This is a great spot to play right on over where you see Ghost Gaming. However, Charlotte Phoenix, winners from game number 1, they haven't been able to keep that momentum up, and it looks like they may be going out first here.
Cody has no business right now in that building. He's dipping out of there with Greek getting finished. Both his teammates are out, and this is a squad CLT that has shown some of that consistency throughout the day. This is one of our stronger squads sitting in 4th place, right behind TSM. But again, I have to emphasize the gap there is between 2nd and 3rd place.
Definitely not a baby gap. That is a full-grown gap in between as Knights. They're locking things down in the back of tree. Expect the rotation from tree to go over towards the high ground on the very edge. Throughout all of that, I believe Saucer was coming in with a flank as they may get a little distracted in front of them, not realize that there's players over towards the building on the side. Multiple people set up over towards the bottom of tree. You can see Team Noble has made their way in as well.
It's a matter of time before some of these squads get the beacon that they need and figure out that the circle is going to be pulling closer to thermal. But that's why a lot of this action is going to happen on the southern part of this map with a lot of these rotations coming out from Lava Siphon. You're going to have players coming out from Launch Site, and Tree is going to be where a lot of that action is going to go down. And Team Liquid, Flanker may be in some trouble as he manages to get away.
Team Liquid's trying to play a little bit hyper-aggressive because of the fact that they know they need to make up a lot of points if they want to continue to try to catch up. Sitting in 6th place behind NRG, behind Charlotte Phoenix and TSM. We know who's sitting in 1st and 2nd. C9 and NRG. NRG sitting pretty in the zone. C9 still a lot of work to do. Team Liquid with nice reset with nice heals. And hopefully for them and this other team, this is a fair fight with no third party, but you never know how it is. So they're going to back off and say, hey, it's a little too sketchy. We're going to get out of here.
Yeah, they're dipping.
Sweet's down. Sweet's down.
Oh, Sweet is out of here. Yeah, look at the feed right now. Crook being able to find Sweet. That's actually huge here, Tom, because of energy going out early. That's going to be a nail in the coffin for this squad.
They get him right back, though, so that's pretty fortunate. They're over towards this high ground, safe place to be. The portal was used. That's why he ended up going down. The focus fire was just too strong. The Sweet is recovered. Rocker coming in with the bubble res, and Nathan with the cover fire.
Oh, TSM's out. TSM's out of this. So they won't even have an opportunity to see themselves get any higher placing than what they currently have right now, which is probably going to allow teams like CLT to surpass them.
Not quite sure how TSM was eliminated. I missed that throughout all of that action, but NRG splitting up. One player over towards the top center, another player over towards the donut. I like this play because Nathan, if he wants to, he can just get right back on over towards his teammates if need be. Going on over towards the jungle gym is a pretty interesting spot here for NRG.
They're just going to try to play it like it's their playground here. They're just trying to find an angle against this team who was taking that lower side. There seems to be a portal right there too. Sweet now, just trying to find an angle. That is the portal that is right there. They're not trying to overextend, just trying to hold the high ground, noting where a lot of these other squads are, with another squad actually taking shots from the left side of energy.
And it was Xset that took down TSM as the first team and first squad to get fully eliminated. NRG owning a lot of real estate over here. Hemlock Gold Mag 2X, one of the strongest combos that you can have if you can hit your shots.
This is so tricky here. It's insane to think that our 3rd place spot is out, and meanwhile, Energy are still taking kills. Rocker getting a knock onto Crook, now being able to retaliate off after what we had seen Crook do to Sweet, and they're still sending it forward. I like these off angles that we're also seeing from Energy because they have somebody holding the high ground. Now they can fully send it in, Tom.
Look at that damage. The DPS from the Hemlock just does so much work. Eva 8 most likely has the purple bolt too because of the crafting that's happening inside of the replicator, but they want revenge and they're gonna get it, Vicky. That's the finish. Casellas comes in and gets Hambino with the wingman as well. Now Energy needs to reset and they need to refocus because the game winners from game number 5 have the high ground on them.
Yeah, they don't want to overextend here. Just give up a lot of this space to Unlucky, the game winners that just took the last game. And Energy, with Nathan still holding onto this high ground, I love this plan. Of course, Nathan has the redeploy, could bring all of the energy right back to this middle portion. And what I was worried about isn't a factor anymore with Energy because they're getting these picks and they're getting the loot off of these picks. So they won't have to worry when they're still on that high ground for the end game.
Small correction, my apologies. It was actually Benchwarmers that took down TSM. Now we see C9 making their move. Long rotation. We know how far they had to make their way over towards Climatizers. Still looking pretty good in terms of loot and all of that resources that they had. Also, going to be possibly getting some gold armors here.
Very handy here for C9. Not like they were struggling too hard on loot, but a gold backpack is always handy in the arms of Alberlele, and they are going to be able to run away from that after being able to take it. So to make the rotations, they also are noting here if any of these squads are rotating from Landslide, and it seems C9 is the only squad that is on this upper portion of the map.
And this is so important for C9 because they have to avoid staying low on the kill feed. They can't show where their presence is. They're basically waiting for Energy to get eliminated while they take any fights that they necessarily have to. Let's go ahead and hop in with a listen and hear what their strategy is.
Could, yeah. It could work. We have the time.
Could do that.
Follow me the whole way.
How many bats do you have, Zach?
4.
Drop 2. I'm going to give you 4 cells.
Play. Don't jump. Don't jump. Don't do anything. Play as low as you can. You already know they're sitting on those carts looking.
Last time they did, they saw it so early and they almost killed me. They're probably saying watch for C9 wrapping us. Low key.
Yeah, probably.
And they have snipers and shit. They're gonna see us.
Get that look if they will.
If we take this rope.
It's not a bad play.
And if they shoot us, they just know about us.
I think we pad to the building.
See, but no matter what, we have to bully them off the beacon, no matter what, Max. So it doesn't matter. They're gonna play there for third, I think, right? Alright, whatever.
Thank you.
Okay.
Hello.
Just follow my tracks exactly. Stop moving. I don't want a team to be in this cut and fucking shoot at us once and then.
Oh, team here, 50.
That's them. That is them. That has to be them. I'm dropping a 3-timer. Shots at the house.
I have a 2x4.
Right behind him.
でも17部隊にてこんな大としか当たらないもんなんだね。
Fucking up.
ね、ハロー。そっか、無理しなくていいの
Yeah, we
か。
fight. It's a good rotation.
Yeah, it is.
It's like really good the way we do it.
Go for beacon. Go.
Going now. Yeah.
I mean, we're gonna double hit this because we're so fucking late. Unless it's just too obvious. They're fighting on the houses. I think we go. Actually.
Throw a bump for me, maybe.
Start walking towards the house.
He already bumped. By the way, he wants help.
I know. He has gold on my
I've got on it. My butt's on 20.
cruising.
Zone's weird,
It pulls
bro.
low ground. It pulls low ground. I think. What do you think, Alb?
I think it's this one.
I know it pulls low ground.
I think it's one that pulls
Can we
low.
pad? They're like right here.
I don't see anyone on our left. Zach, I don't see a single person on the left.
I need to spot yellow mark, like low ground. We could just full send them pad right there.
You hear the comms, they said the zone is weird. That is why the scan is so important throughout all of this, and things were going down on potential spots. But once you're on the edge right here, it's all about letting that zone close. Make sure that you're safe. Make sure that, again, you keep that action in front of you.
And the difference here is with the Bloodhound being in C9's composition right now, they could also know if there's any other stragglers behind, so they can safely understand that their backs are against nobody, that they're safely able to rotate onto the edge of the circle, and that's really important because they want to maintain this lead. They want to maintain the fact that they're in first place and maintain their ability to third party a lot of these fights.
16 points separate C9 and NRG. Let's go ahead after that scan and hear what NRG's strategy is going to be.
Do not
No bubble right now, no bubble.
Okay. We need a vac ult to the box. We need a vac ult. What a bitch. Fuck you. I'm Phoenixing. We're gonna go down low and we're gonna vac ult from our southwest. Group up downstairs and we're gonna go down low, vac ult from the southwest and land at the box.
Bubble in 15.
Okay, let's go.
10 seconds. Bubble.
We might not. Oh no, teams are trying to take it right now, bro. We gotta go now. We need to go now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Send it.
No.
I'm gonna fucking...
Emote. We're fine. This corner on red is where we're landing. There's a fucking corner. Land in it and heal. Great.
Completely out of
I have
line.
one bat, 4 cells now, by the way.
Okay, I'm dropping 2 bats and a med kit. We gotta watch our wrap here, boys. I'm spreading out to the 2-story. Our most important thing is watching our field wrap and you guys holding for Valcolt teams, okay?
Yeah.
Wait. Bro, a door just closed in here. Wait. Fuck, I just here.
I'm gonna come with you.
Noting the repositioning from energy as they take this building, also trying to see if there's any rats potentially in this building before trying to push in here. And it's sweet, of course, with those rotation calls, of course, such a powerful IGL for a reason. But this is really smart too, because they're going to be able to secure this back end of the circle while making sure that no other squads are going to be able to take that final circle that they've already scanned.
That's a great point, and not a lot of teams are going to have the information that they have based on the zone and also flying over everybody's head to get that Valkyrie passive.
Team Liquid now, we were taking a look at them earlier. They're just trying to figure out an angle, maybe trying to get some last minute looting done, but it doesn't really look like they need it here. Looking at a full squad with full purples, 16 squads left for this final game, and Team Liquid are just trying to get an angle over the chaos of the squads that are already holding the high ground off to the right.
Let's see how they're going to storm this chaos here. Let's go into another listen-in with Team Liquid.
ホールです、おやすみ。またね。またやろう。グッナイオールです。
Leave care back right here.
またね。
Did this team move?
No. I'm playing it for
なんか
back.
いいもの入るかね。
Yeah, they're in that corner.
Yeah, I know. They're super fucking killable. It's just I don't think anyone's up here anymore.
They might just be
Not
broke up there.
peeking.
Valcolting?
Where?
Oh, that's east. Let's just care back.
Alt Excel.
16。
Look at zone.
We're still safe here, but
team here still.
No, we kill Presley's team.
We padding from the top of the jungle gym right there?
Yeah.
Okay.
Come on, Brennan.
I got your digi.
It's fine. It's fine.
RNG なんとかさんがいるから混乱し
Team
ちゃったん
Liquid
か。
safe for now inside the jungle gym. Just a little bit of a sliver here, though. And now they're going to bounce pad. You heard him talking about it. They're going for Presley's team. There goes the grenades. They want to take this priority position.
I'm so worried though, this EVA 8, it's only got 9 bullets in the chamber ready for Nocturnal as he dives in, wastes no time, he destroys the arm shield on the Gibby. Can they finish him off? But they get pressured out from the side. It's actually gonna be another squad here as Energy, they've taken that off angle, and Fun coming in with the gold backpack. I know Nocturnal is so thankful for that, and the Dome really providing that extra cover from the bombardment.
The beauty of landing over towards Striles, getting all that extra loot that you need. Fun with the gold backpack coming in with the clutch. Great bounce pad, great fight. Amazing EVA 8 shots as well. Team Liquid with the communication. You heard them kind of planning that before they made the play. They didn't want to play it safe. They know the situation. They are trying to catch up to the teams that have already been taken out. Currently, again, 6th place, 29 points overall. Looking pretty solid in the middle of the zone.
They want to make sure they can take full advantage of it. This is the same squad who is sitting in 6th place at the moment, right behind Renegades, and they want to make sure that they can secure as much KP as possible without getting beamed by energy off to the side. Meanwhile, C9 taking a very aggressive angle. They have a triple take handy, and you know that bombardment is going to stop the rotation from that squad once they exit out the building.
One of the most important moments in the tournament right now, Cloud9 trying to stay alive as the zone is going to be closing out. They need to do whatever they can to force Casellos and Senpai out of this situation. It is going to be tough, though. Unlucky, they won game number 5 over towards that frag west side, so they are playing really well right now. But nobody is playing better than C9 today.
Look at this pressure from Alberlele with a triple take. This is why it's so scary to see any sniper in the hands of Alberlele. And of course, it's going to be the triple take this time. The alternator getting some beamage from the high ground.
I love this defensive bombardment over towards the high ground. It even connects. He saved his bubble the entire time. They're going to be safe. over behind this truck for now, but they're gonna have to continue to move forward as that defensive bombardment continues to tick away on the team on that southeast high ground.
And I love the intel too, coming in from Stay Naughty. You see the scan just because he's in his ult, he could scan a second time off to the right to note from whichever one of these squads already holding that corner. That's why it's so important here when you can't utilize a redeploy from the south, you at least have the scans from the Bloodhound. Meanwhile, I'll really still holding on to that low ground. You see a fight happening on the high ground with another squad. And it's just chaos all the way around with still 11 squads left.
In the bottom right in that picture-in-picture, you saw Saucer taking that kill lead overall. They're going to drop unlucky winners from game number 5. They go out in 12th place. Taking a look at the teams remaining. All you have to really worry about is C9 and NRG. Definitely watch out for Team Liquid to see if they can continue to push the pace. But right now, it's all about getting that dub. 16 points between first and second place.
Maybe he
Wondering here what
Overwatch.
CLT is currently positioning with their KP2, because that's going to be super important now that TSM is out of the race, being the first squad to fall for this final game here in NA. C9 just hugging this Bulger for some cover.
You can see in the picture-in-picture, that's going to be NRG, the team in second place. The zone does pull and heavily favors towards that C9 side. You're going to see something pretty similar to before, but without the defensive bombardment. They're going to play the edge. If they need to drop that bubble at the last second, expect Alberley to do that. But look at that. A triple rat inside of the crevice.
Seeing some shots happening from right behind too. C9 holding onto this position as they should. Alberley, again, being able to utilize this triple take has helped out this squad so much, and he is one hit away from getting a red Evo shield.
The triple take is just putting an absolute work. 111 right there. Alberley charging that Evo shield up. Also with that gold helmet, he has to be feeling good about the situation. It's just a matter of time before this zone starts to close on over towards the back. But there are just so many players in front of him.
Serial with the grenade toss too, being able to find flanker. Meanwhile, C9 are sitting pretty comfy behind this rock. They're hugging the edge of the circle. We're currently seeing some of these squads with some desperate domes. With Alberlady having that gold helmet, like you made mention, is going to really come in clutch for C9.
Let's hop into one last listen in for C9 and see if they can close this one out.
Look right. I'm bubbling right here. I bubbled out so we can get them off that angle. The nade's in the bubble.
Yeah.
It's a rat. Kill him. It's a rat.
Hold down. Chill. I'm heading. Mac, enemies, full safe, right here.
Yeah, I know. I'm with you.
Walker in the body. Come on. Walker and them are fighting here, please.
Let's go.
Exciting
time.
In the air.
Shit, I'm
patting us forward. I patted us forward.
In the corner. On our back.
New team. Winnable. Winnable as fuck, Dottie.
No, it's not.
No, it's not winnable, bro. I don't know why we did that.
What? That was fine.
That is not what I want to see. You could even hear the comms coming out. So unfortunate. They overextended. And that seems to be the habit here, Tom. We take a look at the way that they've been performing, and every single time they come in second, it's because they overextended in a similar fashion like that.
But they're picking up kill points, Vicky. That's what matters here. They came through and just dominated that one team that was crouching down below. They weren't expecting another full team not to contest when that bubble went down. Good discipline there from Renegades. And Kate was talking about the buffet of death boxes as well. This ain't no golden corral.
It's all you could hear. Everybody eats. Take a look at everything that C9 has left for us. I mean, basically everybody else that was trying to hold on to this high ground. Renegades, though, are having such a fantastic game. They've had an on and off game so far, but I feel like within the early portion of today alone for NA, Tom, Renegades have really shown off.
They really have, and Renegades was sitting in 5th place, so that they could put some more points on the board. They may even take 3rd overall and drop TSM down to 4th. Charlotte Phoenix, they were sitting in 4th at 37 points.
Just being able to get some of that last minute loot. Also nice to note here that Pow Pow, he's got the Rampart G7, and as I said that, he just made the swap over. He prefers the R301 before we see it disappear forever, but it's gonna be Pow Pow who's gonna keep giving them the Pow Pow and having some of these death boxes to his right to swap if he needs to.
Remember, Saucer originally was the kill leader with 3 previously, so they are absolutely fuming right now as Stomps gets the knock on a Serial, and that's what you want to be. You want to be the last players to these parties right now, the last third party coming through. Saucer, Pow, Baxon, all with red armors. You can see they have the position as well.
I like the positioning that they came in through from the high ground, but there was another squad to contest them off to the left. They have the dome coming out to help contest with the Valk Tactical, and they do manage to get that cleanup on the squad off to the right. Right before Sleepy Panda was actually able to take it from right underneath Renegades. This is the last squad. This is the opportunity for them to come out on top, and Renegades are your winners for the last game of NA today.
Big game from Renegades. Holy cow. Just map movement on top of map movement. Patience on top of patience. Passive-aggressive play when they really needed to. That bubble was fantastic from
LGR.
That was really intense. The fact that they were also able to keep their cool after winning against C9 in what we saw a graveyard of death boxes, holding onto that positioning and putting down that dome right when it was necessary, like you said, Tom. I love this look from Renegades, and of course, ending out a very hectic day with that win.
The question is how many kills did they actually get? Was that enough to go and push the placements up and take over third place from TSM? We're going to find out as the admins start to tally that one up. But what a day of Apex. We started with EMEA, we ended with NA, and we still have more matches tomorrow too. Woo. Sheesh.
Oh, good week for Apex Esports. I love to see it. I also love to see the difference in composition. Of course, it's nice to know actually seeing how TSM went out so early that they actually went for a TSM change and it didn't work out for them. And you could currently see right now with the leaderboards, Renegades with 15 kills in total, securing 27 points.
Amazing gameplay. Also, shout out to Legacy coming through with a 6th place as well. Cloud9, I think they did enough though, because you can see they are already ahead of NRG and they placed ahead of NRG as well. So they will be taking 1st place overall. Spoiler alert, and NRG will be coming in 2nd. But wow, what a game, what a day.
I mean, when you talk about consistency and you take a look at what C9 did, aside from that first game where they had a pretty rough start getting 13th place, they secured 2 wins. And even in one of those games where they didn't win and they got 3rd place, they had 12 kills in that one game alone. It's really intense here when you have such a high-level competition in this lobby here. And you're going to have Renegades take that last game. Just try to focus right now on what Renegades did. And 7 kills going in favor to Saucer. And with 16,000 damage right there, rather 1,600 damage now being able to secure that. A really nice look for Renegades. Pretty consistent across the board for every single one of these teams.
They really did a great job, and yes, they weren't playing for the win, but every point is really going to matter throughout this season. So the fact that they went from 5th place, I believe, to 3rd overall is a great testament to their gameplay. And you got to give credit again to C9 because they started off slow. They win game number 2, 3rd in game number 3. I believe that was the Overlook ending, and then winning another game in game number 4. Just like James was saying, they didn't break the scoreboard, but they did do a phenomenal job. Big props to C9 and NRG for just bringing the heat today.
Different look for a lot of these teams too. Let's highlight Energy and their performance so far. They did not look so hot just last week. They had gotten 12th place by the end of the weekend, and meanwhile they came out swinging. They meant serious business, securing that 2nd place spot for what we know so far here. But Energy had such a very dominating performance all day today in NA.
Someone that's always bringing the energy, that's Kate. Let's bring her back to the desk and see if she's okay with the performance that Noble gave today.
Okay, Tom, I knew that was coming. You know what? I will never ever say that I do not go swing for the fences, and Noble did an incredible job last week, but I think you just nailed it there, Vicky. We're talking week to week now. Remember, this is Pro League play. We are in groups right now, right? So these teams are going to play one day this week. They're going to play one day next week. They're going to play one day here and there. It's going to be an all-out bloodbath, which we just saw. I will say that this has been an incredible game number 6, and as much as it is for the game-winning teams, the Renegades, the teams, the C9s that we have seen do incredible things. Another headline here for game number 6, and Vicky, I'm going to start with you, is the team that didn't win, the one that came down, and we got to see a little bit of why it was that TSM did not join us here in the winner's circle.
Yeah, it was unfortunate, of course. We were talking about it earlier, but they had actually gone for a composition change. I believe they had gone Valk, Gibby, and Cossack, and they didn't take out the crypto like they were running earlier on, and it didn't work out for them. It was just unfortunate in the middle of their rotation. They got called out by bench warmers, but that's the risk that you have when you go for a much safer quote-unquote rotation, expecting the best, but unfortunately, it's just not going to work out for you, especially when you need to rely on that last game to secure a better spot in the leaderboards when there is such a big gap already between 2nd and 3rd place, which is exactly where TSM was sitting at.
I was anticipating the change just a little bit sooner because Crypto is the most passive legend that you can really have next to Caustic. And Hal is one of the most aggressive, talented players that we have, not just in North America, but all in the world. So I really think that Valkyrie, Caustic, Gibby suits them well. I'm looking forward to seeing what they do next week because they're going to bounce back strong.
Oh yeah, and there's something that I will say about TSM. You don't want to make them angry. You do not want to give them the momentum. You do not want to give them the reason to show.
あれ
I love that. Yeah, absolutely. No, I totally understand. I love that. So, okay, we got to do a lot of listen-ins for you and your team today. I want to ask, how do you work out callouts? Because there was a lot of stuff happening and you guys get very intense. How do you choose who to listen to? Like, how do you guys work out your team comms like that?
So I'm really glad you brought this up. A lot of people like to talk about our comms and say how like it's chaos, or how do they even play like this, or this makes no sense, or they're constantly terrified, or they're constantly in frenzy, and that's actually not the truth. Yes, this is probably the only team that you'll see with an environment like this. It's from me and Naughty. It has nothing to do with Alb. It's because of momentum. A lot of people will agree with me on this. I'm sure you guys see it in TSM and other teams. And when they start to get a little bit of momentum going and the energy is higher and the voices are raised, just everything kind of clicks, you know? You land in the pocket, you know? And that's how it is for my team. When the energy and the comms get there, it may seem unorganized and absolutely crazy, but we hear 95% of what the other person's saying and we're all digesting it. We all understand that I'm the primary voice and it works out really well, and the momentum and the energy carries us very far.
That's incredible. I need to find me a team like that. Thank you so much for your insight and congratulations on your incredible points accumulation today. I'm going to go back to Kate. Thank you so much for your insight, Zach.
ザックさんか。
Man, Zach is a fan favorite for a reason. We really appreciate your time, my friend. Tom, let's talk about those comms real quick because it is absolutely such an interesting and intricate way to look at a team and their ability to get the job done.
Hey, we know from the Halo days, all right? We used to have 4 players on a team. In some games, you have 5. It seems like they have 20 on that team, okay? There was no coaches allowed. If you read the rules, there's not a 4th player in there giving them insight. But I love the way that he's talking about momentum. And I also love he's talking about having fun and bringing that wave.
Yeah, I honestly, hearing the way that he was able to kind of filter out how the comms sound like for C9, to a lot of viewers at home, it sounds chaotic, but when you're in the heat of the moment, that adrenaline is pumping, you know how good you're doing, and you're carrying that momentum per each game that you're popping off in. So it's really nice to see how the squad was able to stay calm and collected, regardless of these high intense situations that we heard.
I mean, there is no better proof than that leaderboard that their comms do work. So let's talk about something else, another leaderboard of sorts that I hasten to bring up here because once again, Kate's not at the top. But let's take a look at what we had here. Okay, so
James,
wow. Yep,
again.
There it is.
Wow.
Hey, he's 2 for 2 on NA days, okay? Let's just point that out. James is no joke.
So I know, Tom.
Oh my god,
wait, hold the phone for
James? Yeah.
What you're saying, the only UK citizen on this casting squad of NA people has gotten NA right twice in a row.
Yeah, you're right. It's a fluke. I'm kidding.
He's got the script. That's what I was saying. He's got the script. I want to know. He's got the script. I don't understand how he's been able to do this. You know what? I think exactly. I feel like he's in cahoots here. He just has figured out what a lot of these other squads have.
Yeah, I will say this.
Someone look into James. He's hacking.
Yeah, exactly. Well, you know what? And I will say this: TSM seemed like a solid choice. There's a reason that the fandom is so great, and understandably so. So, GG to everybody. Noble, next time, my friends. Next time, let's do this. Anyway, also well done, James. At any rate, we want to make sure that you are going to be coming along, joining us for the next time we have talent predictions, and of course, that means tomorrow, because we have just day 1 here today. But our next groups, our other groups, we had A versus B. Well, that means C and D are taking themselves on tomorrow here, starting for our EMEA broadcast. That's tomorrow morning. And then guess what? Immediately following that, we got the NA broadcast. It's all Apex all the time. Set your watches, set your phasers to stun. Not sure why that would help, but it made sense in my head at the time. So at any rate, we have got lots more Apex to go. Don't worry, group stages we're just at the beginning here for Day 4 coming up tomorrow. So with that, I will say a huge thank you to our fantastic casters, our crew, and to all of you for watching. So until next time, which is tomorrow, we'll see you.
tomorrow はないでしょ。tomorrow もあんの？明日もあんの？マジ？今日はマーシーオンリーさんもアンディさんもあんまり活躍できんかったっぽいね。そう、エンド、そう。6ゲームエンドなウイスキーピーチ。あ、C と D が明日あるんだ。今日は A と B か。わー。でんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでん。ね、これさ、プロのさ人たちもさ、あれなんかな。突然始まる盛り上げミュージックとか流れてきたりしてんかな。ね、ありがとうウイスキーフィーチ。突然無音になったりしてんかな。あ、多分ないんだ。for watching だって Thank you APEX レジェンドグローバルシリーズリーグ Thank you ミラーストリーム Thank you ありがとう。でんであれ流れたら怒るよね。でね、今ね見てたのトーマス I watch APEX リーグパチパチパチパチパチ。でんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでんでん。面白かったね。やっぱり強いね。やっぱ人気のチームはさ、やっぱり強いね。NRG C9 TSM RNG そうそう終わっちゃったトーマス。6ゲーム終わったとこ6ゲームエンド。あ、面白かった。でんでんでんでんでんでんでん。